exceptional student athletes are born, where records are broken, where great plays are made, where school colors ignite passion, where champions prevail, where tradition is celebrated. Ontario University Athletics.
The most successful people in life share one thing in common.
They all put themselves in a position to thrive.
Surrounded by people who challenge them to think bigger.
And communities that support them at every turn.
In the classroom.
And way outside of it.
If you want to set yourself up for success.
If you want to give yourself the tools to achieve any goal.
There's no better place to begin than Queen's.
We challenge.
We support.
You succeed.
You'll be great, no matter where you go.
But your greatest story starts right here.
Where exceptional student athletes are born, where records are broken, where great plays are made, where school colors ignite passion, where champions prevail, where tradition is celebrated. Ontario University Athletics.
The most successful people in life share one thing in common.
They all put themselves in a position to thrive.
Surrounded by people who challenge them to think bigger.
And communities that support them at every turn.
In the classroom.
And way outside of it.
If you want to set yourself up for success.
If you want to give yourself the tools to achieve any goal.
There's no better place to begin than Queen's.
We challenge.
We support.
You succeed.
You'll be great, no matter where you go.
But your greatest story starts right here.
exceptional student athletes are born, where records are broken, where great plays are made, where school colors ignite passion, where champions prevail, where tradition is celebrated. Ontario University Athletics.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Athletics and Recreation Center on the campus of Queen's University. It is OUA men's volleyball semifinal action between the Queen's Gaels and the Brock Badgers, with a berth in the provincial championships. On the line, I'm Kyle Koppel, joined alongside by Alex Elliott. And Alex, it's a capacity crowd here. It's two of the best teams in the conference here competing for a spot at the national championship. By virtue of winning this game, they would book their ticket. Well, for the Badgers, certainly, as the Gaels obviously going as the as the host of that national championship, but a lot on the line here between two of the best teams in the OUA.
A lot on the line, and what an atmosphere we got so far here. Sold out crowd. The crowd's going to get into it tonight. I can already see fans in the one end of the stadium with their bangers, the vuvuzelas. We're going to be in for a great matchup, a great atmosphere for everyone to play in tonight. You know, you look back to this season, both teams had a great regular season this year. Brock came in here to this gym in November and had 2 losses, only winning 1 set in that matchup. But as we saw on the women's side, you know, playoffs is a different story. Unfortunately, Queen's women's team lost to the McMaster Marauders tonight, and they had previously won that matchup in the regular season. So when you get into playoffs, you remove the script, forget about what happened in the past. Both these teams are 1-0 in the playoffs this year, and they're going to come in and give it their all to try to get a berth in the national championship.
So looking at the Brock Badgers starting lineup, it'll be Grant Redden running the offense, Devin Cooney on the outside with Solly Lianga, Tyler Code on the right side, and Furland in the middle with Liam Strong. Justin Levere will be libero stabilizing the defense for the Brock Badgers. And some familiar faces as we get the starting lineup here for the Queen's Gaels. On the left side, we'll be seeing Eric Sixna and Zig Litzis. Out of the middle, we'll be seeing Dax Tompkins and Isaac Zabjak. Out of the right, we'll be seeing Reed Venning. Running the offense will be Chris Zimmerman. And of course, anchoring the defense as the libero will be Lexan Rabbit. Should be, again, a great matchup between these two teams as we get set for the opening serve coming up here momentarily. And as we mentioned again, Alex, Queen's hosting the national championships. So in terms of the script and in terms of what happens beyond tonight, we'll have to wait and see. There will be, depending on how tonight's results go, there will be a bronze medal game that takes place next week. And again, the loser of tonight's game will be in that bronze medal match. And again, we'll have to wait and see at the end of the match to maybe have some further discussion. We'll provide some details along the way, certainly, with the other OUA semifinal taking place at the Burris Gymnasium in Hamilton as the McMaster Marauders were taking on the Guelph Griffins. You can report back once we get an up-to-date result there.
So I can confirm that McMaster beat Guelph 3-0, so that means that regardless of the result tonight, Mac will be hosting the OUA Championship next weekend. Both teams tonight are competing to see who's going to be there competing for that OUA Championship. If you're Queens, though, you know, not much pressure on tonight because you're going to be in the national championship tournament regardless, since you're hosting. But you don't want to go in there as a low seed. You want to be able to go into that tournament and cement home floor as one of the top 3 seeds in the tournament, and that's what your job is tonight, to go into this first or second leg of your playoffs, put in a strong performance as you look towards trying to be the #1 seed coming out of the OUA.
Gaels coming off a 3-0 quarterfinal victory at home against the Toronto Varsity Blues. And the Badgers taking down the Western Mustangs in their OUA quarterfinal, setting up what should be an outstanding matchup here as a great pass by Rabbit comes in tight. Zimmerman, pass to Venning, Reed Venning, off arms and out of play. And the first point of the match goes to Reed Venning.
Great swing by Reed Venning, a bit of out-of-system play right with the setter being dragged across. Didn't have much options, he had a full block and Venning pounded it cross court, nothing the libero could do.
So Nanli Youssef, the one libero for the Brock Badgers, and now coming in serve receive is Justin Levere. As back to serve is Eric Sixna. Swings away. It's a good high ball pass from Code. Swing into the net though on a short set. Trying to set to that right side to Kyler Code. Excuse me, it was good pass up though on the first contact there by Cooney.
Yeah, one of the best servers in the nation. We've seen Zixna coming back, leading the league, leading the nation in service aces per set. Fired one off there, but a perfect 3 pass. Just weren't able to finish on the right side swing.
So is Devin Cooney on serve receive that time for the Brock Badgers as Zixna goes back again. A great pass up that time by Lianga. They run to Code. Good pass up out of the back. Able to get there as Rabbit. Going to get sent over by Leitzis. Set back to the left side by Lianga. High off the hands of Reed Venning and out of play. It is 2-1. The Badgers get on the board.
Yeah, great swing outside. Way to keep that point alive by the Gaels to keep them in the point. I thought they were going to have a good swing off that high ball set by Rabbit. Just kept it in play, but Brock was able to find a way to score off the block and out of bounds.
So Sully Lianga back to the service line here for the Badgers, handled by Leitzis. To the right side, Venning off the top of the block. Lianga gets there. Push back to the far side. Good swing. Picked up there by Rabbit. But what a great swing out of that left side by Devin Cooney.
Yeah, it was a bit off the net set. He had a lot of room. You know, Rabbit was trying to guard that entire sideline there with that block being pushed over a little bit. Had a lot of room to swing. Just Rabbit wasn't able to handle it as it went out of bounds.
Passed up by Rabbit. Zimmerman to the far side to Venning. Rolls off the top. Redden, thought about it. Lianga takes second ball. Good pickup by Rabbit. Zixna keeps it alive. Going to get sent over on the free ball there by Leitzis. Redden out of the pipe. A little bit short on the set. Having to adjust and gets it sent over. Leitzis sends over the free ball. Redden into the middle. Finds the back line on the swing by Jacob Furland.
Yeah, they got a little bit lucky there. Running a 30 pipe is the easiest thing to block, and the other side is the middle. That's why you saw a triple on that pipe set, because it's easy to read. But they were able to find a way to get the ball back and find a different way to score.
3-2 the advantage here now for the Badgers. As Lianga goes off the tape, passed up by Leitzis. Zimmerman back to Leitzis off the hands. And Leitzis going to be called on the net.
I think either the net or the ball might have just wiped off the corner of the antenna as it was going over.
So the Badgers, with 4 straight points, they take a 4-2 advantage here in the early parts of this opening set. As Lianga continues to serve, Rabbit with a great pass in tight. Zimmerman to the left side, off the swing there from Leitzis. Redden just going to get tipped over by Code. Venning takes first ball. Zimmerman back to the left side. Leitzis off hands, off the top of the block and out of play. And the point goes back to Queens. They side out. It's 4-3.
Yeah, you saw it there. It looks like when they're in perfect pass, Brock's going to commit block, throw in that commit sometimes. You're going to see a lot of one-on-one options then on the outside. That one had 2, and he found a way to bang it off hands and out of bounds.
Gaels back within 1. Isaac Zabjak back to the service line here for Queens. Going to find the sideline. And the ace goes to Zabjak. And we're tied, and you see Brock head coach Alex Ianebit arguing that that one was wide of the court for the service error.
He thought it was wide. Some people on the bench were pointing in and out. It was a very close call. Could go either way, but it goes point Gaels.
Zabjak with another strong serve off the arms of Rudy Levere. It's going to get pushed back over. High pass there from Venning. They run the pipe to Zixna off the top of the block. Zimmerman with a high ball on first contact. Set back into the left side, going to go well over the top. And the roll shot over top of the block set there as Zixna take accountability on that one. The point's going to go to the Badgers, and it's 5-4.
Yeah, I got to take care of that free ball though, right? Like, they had a chance and opportunity, and you pass it off the net, and then you run the pipe with the ball off the net. That's why there was 3 blocks on it, and you weren't able to score. Got to make sure you're taking care of that free ball, especially early, to keep all your options alive.
Jacob Furland with the serve, passed up there by Leitzis. Sets back to Zig Leitzis. Out of bounds, going to be called no. Looking for contact on the block, but not going to get that one as Leitzis tries to swing over the top, but it's a little bit long out the back. Furland continuing to serve for the Badgers. It's a 6-4 advantage here for Brock. Pass comes up by Leitzis. Zimmerman to Reed Venning. Venning goes the width of the court. The attacking error that time from the Gaels. And it's a 3-point cushion now for the Badgers.
Yeah, they're going for it. You know they're going for it. It's just a bit too tight on some of those swings there, and you can't have those big misses early on, right? The block is up there. It's pressing. It's hard. I know we just need the perfect pass to get more one-on-one options out the outside, because that block is going to be formed if you have any two passes.
Furland continuing to serve. Eats up Leitzis a little bit. Tompkins able just to throw it over. Cooney with a pickup though by Sixna. Sent back over on the free ball by Sixna. The Badgers will try again. They run the C ball to Code. Down the line, Kyler. Code, 8-4 Badgers.
Great swing, deep backcourt. Rabbit was pushing inside. You know, they left him the line shot. Rabbit came in, and he was able to find deep corner on the line. If they're going to leave it open, you might need to stay home a bit more to be able to get a scoopy on that dig.
8-4 the advantage for the Badgers as Furland continues his service run here. The deep float passed in tight by Sixna. The adjustment by Zimmerman. And what a find by Chris Zimmerman to save that one. It finds Dax Tompkins coming back across.
Yeah, great 31 shot, pushing the middle. Haven't seen too much middle get involved yet tonight, but that's due to the passing, right? If they pass well, you're going to see and hear Dax Thompson's name a lot.
Reed Venning back to the service line here for the Queens Gaels. They're trailing 8-5 on the overpass there. Taking that one with hands is Leitzis. They set it to the middle. Tompkins! Again, Dax Tompkins! You mentioned it, Alex, to get that middle going. Tompkins run the 31 on the previous play, and then on the free ball, the overpass transition there, they run Tompkins back in, just overpowers the block.
Yeah, overpowers it. You're going to look, maybe see Brock commit block a bit more to try to slow him down when it's a perfect pass, and that's going to leave your wings open to have one-on-ones.
8-6 now, Venning continuing to serve. Lianga with a pass comes in tight. Good adjustment there by Redden. Swings off the top of the block as Redden will try to take two. There's going to be the joust at the net. Still alive and swinging away, Noah's Cooney! Dax Tompkins! 3 straight points for the Gaels middle, number 18, Tompkins.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot this year, the battle at the net being one of the keys to victory for these Queens Gaels, and Dax Thompson is the center of that strength in the middle with their block, and he was saying, no, 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 get that garbage out of here.
8-7 the advantage here now for the Badgers. 3 straight points for the Gaels. Venning serving hard once again. Venning with the overpass. Passing that one up is Rabbit. Zimmerman, C-ball to Venning. Reed! Venning, no! That one out the side. Great swing though by Venning to get him involved down the right side. Couldn't have missed by much.
Great swing, that's back-to-back misses though by Venning down the line. You know, we saw him score early on this side cross court. They left him the line, back-to-back plays, and he find a way to miss. Let's see if he can get that going a bit more and bring it into that libero, try to take it off of him and overpower him. And
you can see really Levere sort of hugging that sideline, anticipating maybe that line shot coming from Venning. So he's in a good defensive position. And the response there by Zeglitsis. Swings off the top of the block. It's another tool on the swing, that time by Leitzis. Back within one, it's 9-8 for the Badgers. And Leitzis to the service line and Sixna into the front row. Leitzis. Great serve by Leitzis, but it's passed up nicely by Ruli Levere. They run it to Cooney from the right side this time. Devin Cooney swings it high off the block, and a response back the other way here for the Badgers.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see how they form on these passing plays with Leitzis and Zeeksa, 2 of the top servers in the nation. Ripping spinners, they go 4 across the back to get a good solid pass to keep their offense in rhythm, and you just saw it right there.
10-8 the advantage here now for Brock. And a good serve by Cooney, but a pass up well by the Gaels. Sixna finds the back corner. What a great swing by Eric Sixna.
Tough pass, 2 pass, you know, you have 2 options. You know, you take it out, being able to take the middle out, really great by Brock, but you know, sometimes better offense beats the defense, right? Triple block on the outside, and Sixna be able to find the corner of the court. Great swing.
Dax Tompkins back to the service line here now for the Gaels. They trail by 1. It is 10-9. The high toss coming here from Tompkins. Good pass up by Cooney. Redden to the right side. Code off the block. They'll recycle. Ruli Levere. Forearm set to the outside. Lianga off the edge of that triple block sealed across by Eric Sixna. He wipes it off, and it's out of play. Point goes to Brock.
Yeah, it's a tough one, right? Like as a high ball and a triple block, you need to seal each other's elbows. You know, you can't have anyone beat you inside the seam, especially when you have time to close and put up a triple.
11-9. The advantage here for the Badgers. Zimmerman, left side, Sixna off the block. They recycle. Having to get there to scramble is Vetting. Sixna stays on top of it, rolls down the line. Passed up, having to get there on second ball is Furland. Comes across, good dig, but it's in tight to the tape. Pushed off the top, able to get there is Rabbit. Zimmerman to the left side. Sixna finds the wipe off the hands there. High ball set to the outside. Lianga off the block, trying to keep it alive. No! As Liam Strong makes contact with it and it goes into the Badgers bench. Thought maybe that could have gone off the contact and out of play, but Strong makes that sort of snap-second decision to play it. It goes off his hands and out.
Yeah, big block, really solid up front, and that time around, not letting it penetrate your block and sealing each other on the outside.
Zimmerman with the float serve, passed up by Cooney, set to the outside. Lianga! Sully. Lianga to the outside of the block. Lead back to 2.
Yeah, really smart set. 31 overload. Middle gets drawn in with the block sucked in, then you leave a one-on-one matchup on the outside. We have a full free swing cross court.
12-10, the advantage for the Badgers. The spinner upcoming by Code, and it's into the net. So service error by Kyler Code. And Sixna will now go back to the line and pulls Leitzis back into the front row. So 3 attacking options: Zabjak, Leitzis, and Reed Benning. With Sixna back to the line and Zimmerman with Rabbit. And a rolls on the serve, that time leads to an overpass. Set into the middle, Zabjak can't find the back corner. Thought maybe he had found hands on the swing, but wide of the block set and it goes out of play.
Yeah, it's tough finding hands in the middle blocker sometimes because you're just trying to cut hard angle. You tried to cut it back too much. It was really interesting on their serve receive. Their middle was backed up really in the middle of the court as well. It's almost like they had 5 passers, but that's how good Eric Sixna is from the service line.
Sully Lianga. Back to the line here now for the Badgers off the top of the tape. Set into the middle, Zabjak finds the space in the block and a big swing out of the middle for Isaac Zabjak.
Yeah, big swing out of the middle, but you saw both Brock Badgers players being straight up posts instead of sealing and pressing on the net. They found a way under their elbows because they were straight up in the air. They need to get more presence and press, especially on a quick attack.
13-12, the lead now for the Badgers. And a good find on the serve by Zabjak, passed up by Rudy Levere. Kyler Code wide of the court this time. So we saw it on one side where they set that right side ball and the defense anticipating a line shot, and Code with that left hand able to sort of drop that right shoulder and turn down the line, but the defense in a good position, anticipating it was maybe going to go wide of the court.
Yeah, great swing tight to hit it down that line, especially from the C ball, but it's a good lead by the Queens defender.
Zabjak goes cross and swings that set to the left side to Cooney. Passed up on the contact there by Sixna. And the lead restored for the Badgers. They lead 14-13. And that'll bring Grant Redden back to the service line for Brock. And will bring Kyler Code into the front court.
Redden went too early. It's actually Furland's serve, so a good thing he didn't try to serve that one, or else it would have been Gaels' point.
So Furland will go back to serve. Passed up there by Leitzis. Set to the right side to Venning. Off the block. Dropped back in on the contact there.
You saw Zimmerman say there too, my bad. You know, that ball got away from him. It was pushed too high, too out wide. That gave way too much time on the block to be able to form and press over the net, and wasn't able to get it by that block and score.
So Devin Cooney on the block that time by the Badgers. Float serve continuing upcoming here by Furland. Pass comes in tight, set into the middle to Tompkins. And Dax Tompkins continues to have a strong opening set, Alex. Kind of the wipe off the top of the block.
Yeah, it was interesting, eh? They had 2 blocks, 2-on-1, but he was able to force it down and wipe it on the sideline. That's because he was pushed so far over to position 4 by running that 31.
15-14, the advantage with Reed Venning back to the service line here for the Gaels, and it's short into the net.
Very back and forth match so far. No one's really been able to pull away. It's been climbing up point by point, side out, miss. No one's been able to get strong, sustained pressure from the service line. We'll see if anyone's able to pull away and separate themselves as we close into this latter half of the set.
So Redden now to the service line at the appropriate rotation as Leitzis takes first ball. Forearm set comes in tight, and Leitzis going to get over top of the tape. Going to say interfering with the set. The point goes to the Badgers.
Yeah, it's interesting call. The ball looked like it was almost fully on that side. Brock was going up to block, so it's very interesting that he of a call. I haven't seen that in a long time, but it's because he reached over and touched it before the block was able to establish contact.
17-14 as Sixna takes second ball, sets it to Leitzis, and Leitzis hits that one into the stands. We'll probably see a timeout upcoming here now, and we will, Alex, as it's 18-14 for the Badgers. We talked about teams sort of trading points most of the way through this set, kind of separation by a max of about 3 or 4 points. We're back to that 4-point margin now, and a timeout taken by the Gaels to try to settle things down a bit.
Yeah, and it's been a close match. It's just give and take with a couple different errors either way. Mostly we've just seen points earned off service errors and attack errors and kills, right? We haven't seen many dig long rallies straight to the floor. Last 2 points there, off a 2 pass, being able to set it too tight, that loses you a point. Next pass, phasering it out of bounds, lost a point. That's a gap of 2. It should have been arguably, if you don't make those mistakes, it's 16-15. All of a sudden, you lose those 2 points and you look at the scoreboard, you're going, oh no, we're down by 4 now. And that's just off your own team's errors.
So 18-14 for the Badgers as we approach the late stages of this opening set between the Queens Gaels and the Brock Badgers in the OUA men's volleyball semifinal. We mentioned off the top of the broadcast that the other semifinal is in the books. The McMaster Marauders handling business at the Burridge Gymnasium. Alex, they take it 3-0, and they send the Guelph Griffins into the bronze medal match. And the Badgers with a 4-point lead, up 18-14 here in the opening set, as they're back to the service line once again with Redden. Overpass there by Leitzis, comes inside, and they have a flush into the middle as Liam Strong takes the overpass and puts it away for another point for Brock.
Yeah, it's a tough one. That's the 3rd straight error on a Queens player, right? That's 3 points given away on your own unforced errors.
So 5 points the lead now here for the Badgers, as Redden will continue the service run here for Brock. It's a deep float serve, as passed up there by Leitzis into the middle to Tompkins. Second ball taken now by Lianga. A bit of a scramble, pushed back the other way by Tompkins. And the Gaels able to side out. A bit of a sloppy run defensively that time by Brock.
Yeah, Coach Ian Evan not happy on that one. The libero probably should have stepped up to take that second ball and let their outside maybe swing out of the pipe or push it outside. If you're a libero, you got to be able to pass or take control of the backcourt when your setter's taken out.
Chris Zimmerman back to serve. Make that Leitzis, with the hard, aggressive spin serve by Zig Leitzis. Steals one from the line, and the Badgers' lead is now down to 3.
Huge spin serve. That's why you have 4 players back for Brock to try to find a way to get this ball up into position somewhere so you can set a 2-ball.
Leitzis trying to steal a few more. That time maybe goes off the outside of his hand and comes all the way back across. So it's a service error after the service ace. The lead is now 4 for Brock. It's 20-16. Devin Cooney serving now. Good pass up though by Lexon Rabbit. Set to the left side. Sixna straight down the line. Angles to go out of play, but Lianga able to get there. Passed over on the free ball. Lexon Rabbit into the middle. Tompkins is blocked, but is picked up. Sent back over off the top of the block by Sixna. Redden come to the right side to Code. And Kyler Code from the right side pin goes hard cross, 21-16.
Yeah, you see that Brock middle worried about their other middle blocker and fully committing on that one, giving that no space to swing, and then you get the ball back easily in transition and you push it to the outside. Huge swing down the line for that point.
So the Badgers back to a 5-point lead here late in the opening set. And that's going to go well out the back on the serve by Cooney. And they're back to within 4, and now we're going to see a serving sub for the Gaels as Ben Moffat going to come in and serve for Dax Tompkins. Also brings a second set of hands onto the floor for the Gaels, Alex, so see if that comes into play on this potential rally back and forth between Brock and Queens. Again, the Badgers up 21-17 and serve into the net by Moffat. And that'll bring Tompkins right back onto the floor.
Yeah, a lot of spin servers in this lineup. You bring in another spinner, you're living and dying by that spin serve. It's, you know, risk reward. It can bring you back into this game to win the set, but it also can make it really difficult to claw back if you have a string of errors from the service line.
22-17 for the Badgers here in the opening set. Float serve, it's going to go out the back, and the point's going to go to the Gaels. That one by the thinnest of margins on the service error. They'll bring Zimmerman to the service line.
Yeah, now's your time, Zimmerman. If you want to come back in this set, you got to put some pressure on from that line and steal 1 or 2 points here.
Float serve by Zimmerman. Off the arms, though, and into the stands. Good chase on the pursuit. It's in tight. And just going to reset to the next. So we talked about service pressure, Alex, with the number of spin serving options that the Gaels have. It was the float serve that actually eats up the Badgers serve receive.
Yeah, sometimes as a passing attack, if you have so many spinners in the lineup, you kind of get in rhythm, and then when you throw an off-speed floater, sometimes it's, you know, you get too cute with it, and that's what happened there.
Serve receive in tight here for the Badgers. They try to get one back to Code, and Kyler Code with a lot of pace behind that one. As the Badgers stay in system off a good clean pass on receive, and Code just swings away.
Yeah, it's a give and take, right? And the first one was really good pressure. They weren't able to handle it. The next one, they easily handle it, set up a one-on-one on the right side, and Code was easily able to swing away and score. 23-19,
the lead now in favor of the Badgers. Clips off the tape, good pass though by Rabbit. Into the middle, wipe it to Zabjak, and a great point earned, and what a pass on receive by Alexan Rabbit.
Yeah, what a pass. It came trickling off the net, and he had to reach for it. Try to dive in there a little bit, get his knuckles on it. And what a swing by Zabjak. I think he loves that one shot by being able to twist and turn and push it right back to one.
Sixna to the service line here now from the Gaels. They trail 23-20. Off the tape, in it tight to Willie Levere and just pushed over. Thought maybe there was close to contact on the net. Swing away, Leitzis! Zig Leitzis finds the back corner. And the Gaels are back within 2.
Yeah, the Brock Badgers block right there, all of a sudden pulling their hands down last second, letting him swing away. Sometimes it's a hero play, you know, you either win by him phasering it out, or you get banged on and it hits the back of the net, or back of the line. I don't really understand it all the time when you're in your own head trying to play that game of I'm going to go up, I'm going to go down. A lot of the times it causes confusion in the decision making between the two blockers, and you saw it right there where one goes up, one goes down, and he's able to score and hit the back line.
So Badgers into a timeout there as head coach Ian Ebbett going to try to talk things over here and maybe stall the run and force maybe Sixna to think about it from the service line a little bit here. But we've talked a number of times about the wealth of options in terms of what Eric Sixna brings to this Queens Gaels lineup and the dynamic that he has as a versatile player. Obviously a lot of pace, a lot of great sort of instincts and passing as well, but we've often talked about the service pressure that Eric can bring to that line and can certainly make a difference when sets are this tight and at this juncture when the lights are brightest.
Yeah, he kind of has all options from the service line. You saw last time he went up, he took an off-pace serve trying to find a way to sneak into the middle of that court. This is the interesting rotation I was talking about. When you look here, you have 4 passers at the back, but they're middle on Brock. Furlan, you watch where he sets up. He's almost going to be 2 meters behind the attack line. Almost like if you find that short serve, there's such a big opening by having all 4 of your players back. So Sixna tried it last time, but it looks like there's a lot of space in that middle of the court because your middle's so far back trying to get such a big approach coming in.
Sixna back to the line, 23-21. Sixna rolls this time, and it goes out of bounds. And Alex, you talked about it, you were able to dissect and see where the serve receive was set up and see the gaps in the defense there. and just go through what you saw on that.
But it's just great recognition by Zixna. He sees what's happening on the other side. They're pushed so far back and even the middle. So he rolls it short, is able to get an ace. Smart play by Zixna.
See if he goes back the other way with the green light from the service line to try to steal another. Willie Levere pulls Redden off the net. Code out the back. And the service run from the Gaels pulls them level at 23. And we'll see if there's another timeout coming from the Badgers. There was a bit of a delay the last time and trying to allow Zixna to get into a rhythm before calling it. Running out of time to do so here now, but we're tied back at 23. And we'll see if the service approach or tactical decision making here changes. Try to get the roll again this time, Alex, but this time it's a little bit short into the net.
Yeah, great pace though, great serving run. That's got you back into the game. Now you have to side out. You know, game's on the line, game point. Let's see what you can do with your offense. Timeout.
Timeout taken by the Gaels. It is set point here for the Badgers with Solly Lianga back to the service line, which also brings Devin Cooney into the front row. So again, as Alex mentioned, the Gaels need to find a way to side out here. It is set point for the Badgers, but a great run to try to get themselves back in. And here is a look at the lineup between the Queens Gaels and the Brock Badgers. Similar 15-5 records. They finished second and third in the OUA. The seeds holding to form in the quarterfinal. It's the top four moving into the OUA semis. And then kind of looking back through. So second in the conference in kills per set for the Badgers versus the sixth for the Gaels. And then we look at the very bottom of the screen, seeing first in service aces at 2.48 service aces per set for the Queens Gaels. 1.52, which still a pretty impressive mark, sitting third in the conference. Just seeing how strong the Gaels can be from the service line.
Very strong. Now that we're in game point, you know, Zimmerman's knowing what he has in his offense. You probably talked a little bit about what his first, second, and third option are right now looking across the floor. So just need a good pass here. Rabbit's got to take control of this backcourt and see if he can give him a three pass.
Solly Lianga, Rabbit with a good clean pass up. Zimmerman to the left side, Leitzis off the block! And the Gaels stay alive in the set. We're tied at 24.
Really impressive by Zig Leitzis there, going high and hard, able to find a way to get over top of that setter. Really smart play. When you have a setter front court, a lot of the times it's smart to set it out there. They're usually not the tallest, strongest, biggest blocker, and he found a way to go OT on the setter.
Zabjak back to the service line. He was attacking into position one the last service run. See if he goes back, goes the other way instead. They attack Cooney on first contact. He swings! What a block! Set point, Queens!
Huge block there by Venning. He had no option, nowhere to go. No.
And the timeout taken now by Coach Ian Ebbett. Set point from the Gaels. They find a way to side out on the swing by Leitzis. And then defensively, what a time to step up. A huge momentum shifting block in favor of the Gaels, drops back to the open floor with Cooney swinging into the block.
It's just smart play. You know, you take a timeout, you look at the options, you see the lineup on the other side of the floor, and you say, okay, I think we have a mismatch with their setter front court. Let's push the ball out there, and he takes it OT over the top, able to score. Then you come back, relying on your block defense. You got a tough serve in, two pass, close the block outside, bang, bang, 2 straight points. Now you have a chance to go out and close this set.
25-24. Both teams have burned both timeouts. And what a late set sequence between these two teams. And it's now the first set point opportunity for the Gaels. As again, a capacity crowd here at the Arc. What's been an exciting night of volleyball and still plenty left to go here.
Yeah, if I'm the Gaels, I'm loading up on this outside. You know, I think he's going to come across to Cooney. You know, I know they got an option with Furlan in the middle or maybe even the C-ball, but I'm probably as a middle blocker here, leaving my hands down a little bit, getting ready to re-block and explode either way. They've had a lot of success scoring on the pins tonight, so I'd be loading up on that and now that it's game point.
Zabjak back to serve once again here for the Gaels. 4 dropped in deep in serve receive. Code in the late deep seam. Zabjak cross again. Set out to the right side, ball to Code, off the tape and out of play. Contact, they're going to say on the block. So
it's a tough one. It kind of looked like it could have gone off the shoulder of Leitzis. I'd love to see a replay on that one because you couldn't really tell as he went up on the block, but it was hard into the tape. And it's really hard to tell as a referee. You got to rely on your linesman on that. It could have gone either way.
As you see now, they're having a conversation. It looks like it's Redden coming over to maybe talk to up official Andy Cameron, but the point looks like it's going to stay with the Badgers here. So saying it went off the swing from Code, saying it went off the block and out of play. So we'll see if things shift back the other way. Float serve, passed up there by Sixna, comes in tight, good pick by Zimmerman. Leitzis off the block, good scramble to get there by Code. High ball set to the left side, Cooney off the top of the block. Zimmerman takes first ball, second ball to the outside, in tight there by Leitzis. Gets scrambled after the joust. Lianga to Cooney off the block. Zimmerman gets there again. Right side ball to Reed Venning, rolls cross court to Code. Redden, left side ball, Cooney puts it away for the Badgers.
Yeah, I kind of wasn't getting it in rhythm very much right there. You know, Zimmerman was jacking that ball up for Rabbit to make a set. He got too cute with it on setting the right side there. And, you know, Venning didn't have a great approach and could only roll it over the net, and that's why they weren't able to score that point.
Set point for the Badgers, 26-25 Brock. Passed up by Leitzis. Set into the middle to Tompkins, recycles, good pickup by Sixna. Back to the left side, Leitzis off the block. Good dig though by Lianga. Kept alive, swung back, dug up by Sixna. Zimmerman, left side, Leitzis off the block. They're gonna say no. And the point goes to Brock, and they take the opening set, 27-25.
Yeah, really tough there on calls that could have arguably gone either way down the stretch. I know Queens is going to be thinking that they owe us a couple points. They owe us a couple calls later, but at the end of the day, it is what it is, and Brock ends out on top.
So 27-25, the opening set victory for the Badgers. A great back and forth, Alex, and kind of looked like the Gaels.
Yeah, just talking about that play, right? The one that everyone kind of questioned, and there was a bit of a pause where it came off the block, and everyone thought, no, this is Queens' set. You know, with a right side attack swinging cross court, for it to deflect back this way, arguably most of the time you think it's because it got a piece of the block, and that's probably what the ref saw and was thinking is the ball, he was swinging cross court a little bit and it flicked back the other way. But sometimes, you know, when you hit it into the top of the tape, the ball can go anywhere. So I'm not sure if it really got a piece of him. It ends up Brock's point, and that's how they're able to close this set. You know, it was very tight either way. The whole match, it was battled back and forth, back and forth. Brock found their way to keep a good, strong lead until later in the set. And then Eric Zixna from the service line brought his team back in it. You know, it was a toss-up set. It could go either way. This time it went Brock's way. Let's see if Queens can respond. That's what it's all about, being able to take these losses in sets, forget about it, learn from it, see what the other team's doing, and respond and come out strong in this second set.
And we saw extra points in the opening set here in the first set between Brock and Queens. We saw a 34-32 opening set in the women's match, Alex, and then we saw McMaster be able to kind of rally out of that opening set loss, and we'll see if the Gaels can get grounded and coming back after a tough opening set loss where there were moments where it looked as though things were going to land in their favor. See if they can come back out of the timeout and claw back and even this matchup after the second set.
Yeah, serving and passing, right? Like, I think Brock did a really good job down the stretch of passing the ball well, keeping all their hitters in it and giving themselves a lot of options. And even when they were in high ball management, they were able to score. Getting that ball up there to their outside, having swings, taking it off the top. It was a really good play by Cooney down the stretch and being able to score and keep their team alive in this match. And when we saw high ball management on the Gaels side, sometimes the sets weren't perfect. Guys weren't swinging full out. They were taking off-speed shots, tip, roll, maybe a little bit off the top of the net, and they weren't able to find a way to get it done. But wow, this is kind of shocking. When you look at the tail of the tape here on the stats, it has the Gaels hitting at 0.077, which is low. They're batting lower than 100. That's just due to their errors. They have way too many errors on the attacking. We saw it early, taking the ball out of bounds. Conversely, Brock almost batting 300. That's the difference right now. Brock, 14 digs to Queens of 7. That's a bit of the difference right there. Brock is able to keep the ball alive and then force Queens to make errors from their attacking. If they can keep that up, Brock will be aiming for a good spot throughout the rest of the set. Queens has got to respond and find ways to score.
Yeah, it seemed like a lot of those lengthy rallies, we kind of mentioned the fact that the dig number is a little bit higher for the Badgers than they were for the Gaels. Seemed like a lot of those lengthy rallies did fall the way of the Badgers. So being able to kind of stay the course and stay involved in the rally and trying to continue to pursue it on, and certainly some of those fell in their favor. We'll see if things even out a little bit as we head into the second set.
Yeah, and you just look at the offensive spread, right? You got 14 sets to Litzis, 7 to Venning, 7 to Tompkins. That's a lot of load for the middle. That's great. I love that. That's a good spread. Litzis having 14. That's probably too much to one guy. Got to be able to spread it a bit more to find a way to win this set.
Starting off the second set with the serve will be Reed Venning. Venning swings away. Good pass though by Cooney. Set back to Cooney and can't quite find him. Set a little bit too far in front of that attack line, Alex, as Cooney tried to make the adjustment off of first contact. It was a great pass. Maybe didn't quite find him on the attack though.
Great pass running the 31 with the back set to the pipe. It's a very creative play. Just wasn't able to find a way to connect on it.
First point of this second set goes to Queens as Venning takes a lot off. And what a find on the serve that time by Reed Venning. Picks apart the corner and forcing serve receive to come a little bit forward.
We're seeing this Queens Gaels serve have success by taking a bit off and finding a way to push this Brock Badgers front, moving forward, having to lean into pass. They've had a lot of success. We'll see if that'll continue as we move throughout the match.
High toss again from Venning. Go at Cooney. Redden to the right side ball to Code. Off the block and out of play. Drops in though.
Yeah, he wasn't closed on the net. It kind of went under his arm onto his own side. So he didn't get enough press over the net. It's hard to see with that quick of a pace coming in. But he was just late and low, and it got under his arm back on his own side. Got to be a bit early. Got to influence the block. Sometimes it's better to be early than it is late.
2-1 now after the point scored there by the Badgers as Lianga with serve. Zimmerman to the outside. Litzis off the top of the block and into the antenna. And a good response right back for the Queens Gaels.
Great response right back, but I'm a little worried. We need to get a better pass from this Queens backcourt to be able to keep all of our options in play. Brock was still able to get 3 guys up at the net blocking, putting up a triple. If you're going to struggle from the backcourt passing, it's going to make for a long night for your attackers trying to find ways to beat a 2 or 3 man block all night.
So 3-1 the lead here with Litzis back to the service line here for the Gaels. Good pass up by Code. Set to the left side, Cooney. Off speed and a block. That time the seal from Sixna on the triple. Reflects to the open court.
Giving Brock a bit of taste of their own medicine, right? Serving them out and then being able to bring 3 blocks into the outside, getting Sixna on the action and slamming it home.
4-1 the lead here now in the early part of the second set for the Gaels. High ball pass and receive. They set into this left side pin. Off the block again. They seal the triple. Cooney loses the joust. And Dax Tompkins with the flex. 5-1 Gaels.
We saw that earlier. Thompson being able to control the net. That is huge, and that's what you want to see. He was getting a bit too excited, maybe flexing a little bit to the crowd. The refs told him to tone it down a little bit, but I love to see it. That's what you want to see. You want to see your players get excited. You want to see them show emotion. You want to see that they're involved in this match. You know, he's trying to do that for his team and try to get them to ramp up their own energy. He's not chirping through the net. He's flexing to his squad saying, I own the net. Bring it on, bring it to me, and what a block.
So the block from Tompkins forces Badgers coach Ian Ebbett to take the early timeout here. So 5-1 the advantage, and perhaps again the timeout call here at this juncture. Maybe try to settle the crowd down a little bit, maybe steal some of the energy and the momentum away from the Gaels that have been developing over the last 3 or 4 points.
Yeah, you don't want to let this set get away from you. In men's volleyball action, it's very side out, side out, side out. So, you know, when you get to a 6-7 point lead, that is huge. It is really hard to come back from a 6 or 7 point lead in OUA action, especially playoff action. Both these teams side out. It's at such a high level. There's not many rallies like we saw, you know, guys are swinging full out, getting lots of kills, or they're getting errors. You know, they're not keeping the ball in play a lot like you'd see in the women's action where there's a lot more pace and control. You know, guys are a little wild sometimes. They want to score, so they might be making more errors and kills than what coaches would want or expect. But, you know, that's why you're taking a timeout early, so that the game doesn't get away from you.
So coming out of the timeout, the Gaels leading 5-1, and it's Litzis continuing his service run here for the Gaels. Good find on the serve there by Leitzis, leads to an overpass. Can the Gaels take advantage? Tompkins, good scoop by Sully Lianga. Ruly Levere, roll over the top this time, able to get there. Set to the outside, Sixna, touch, no. Out the side, and the point goes to the Badgers.
Yeah, and Ian Eben isn't happy with what his setter's decision was there by just setting the outside off the net. I think he wanted him to flip it back, try to get someone else involved. It was very predictable set, and that's why he had a roll shot. And they got lucky there because Zikna just barely missed that swing over the block.
So the Badgers find a way to side out on that sequence. It's 5-2, the advantage now for the Gaels. Shallow serve, passed up by Tompkins. Set to the C ball to Venning, off the block, he recycles. Tompkins gets there and sends it back over. Free ball transition for the Badgers, it's blocked. They stay the course though, it's in tight to the net, gonna roll off the top of the block. Venning picks that one up, set to the left side, Sixna off the block. Picked up defensively and sent back over. Pass again to Sixna, rolls, and what a find, Eric Sixna.
Really, really tough shot to stop by being able to go full swing, fake, off speed. It wasn't even like a tip. You just rolled it over, kind of deep style over the block. It's the worst feeling in the world as a blocker to watch that ball slowly drip over your hands, knowing that there's no chance the guy behind me is going to dig that.
And what a find again, and good shot selection and variability that time by Eric Sixna. He swung away on a couple, got recycled off the block, and the off-speed ball, a smart roll inside. Good serve again by Tompkins, set to the C ball to Kyler Code, and what a response out of the C. Kyler Code, just so much pace and explosiveness on that jump.
Yeah, and as we see, right, like one-on-ones, the guys are going to score. Setter was able to create a one run the 31, set it back, pulled the middle away, and you give a free swing to your C ball Code, and he scores easily.
6-3 the lead now for the Gaels, as it's Redden back to the service line. Set to the left side ball, Sixna makes the adjustment and keeps it alive on second contact, and then response back as Sixna sends pace right back the other way out of the left side pin.
Yeah, as an outside hitter, you love nothing more than the repeat set. It was a bit low and inside, and he's able to recycle, feed me again, boom, feeds it right back to him, and he's able to score. The double set sometimes is what the players love the most.
4-point cushion restored now for the Gaels. And it's a short serve this time by Zimmerman into the tape.
Yeah, as a float server, right, when you have a lot of spin servers, the float servers know it's their job to put the ball on the floor because your spin servers have the green light all night. It's your job to keep the ball in play and put a little bit of pressure on, but leave the ability for your spin servers to go after it.
So 7-4 the advantage now here for the Gaels. Cooney to the service line. Zimmerman, left side ball to Venning off the top of the block, but a good handle there by Cooney to keep it alive. Sent over with a roll shot. Passed up by Rabbit. C-ball, Sixna off the arms and out of play. Right side ball that time by Eric Sixna. On that particular rotation, having Sixna swinging first sequence from the right, and he's able to score.
Yeah, great swing by Sixna, keeping him on the right side and finding him. That's a great option. Great offense by Zimmerman.
Gaels' lead is doubled up. They're up 8-4 with Sixna back to the service line. And good pickup though by Ruly Levere. It's just going to get sent over on the free ball though. Kind of eats up the Gaels in the front court. Rolled off the top of the block. Here's a chance to reset now for the Badgers. Code off the block and out of play. Swings off and out of bounds.
It's so tough to give up those points, right? On a bad set and they're sending a free ball over, you don't take care of the free ball and you give it right back, When you get a free ball, it's a gift. It's saying, here, take it. That's why it's called a free ball. You got to find a way to take care of that ball and score off any free ball you get.
3 points now is the lead for Queens. It's a deep serve. Rabbit gets first contact. Sixna takes second ball. High ball to the outside, deletes this. Good pass up though by Cooney. Redden, right side ball, tipped off the block and out of play once again. And a good read by Code just to press it off the block and to let the ball do the work.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of jousts at the net tonight so far, and Queens has been very successful in winning a lot of those jousts. They're a very physical, big team. But this time, Brock was able to find a way to force it off that block and out of bounds. Really good job to try to win that battle at the net.
8-6 the lead now in the overpass by Rabbit. Oh, able to get there in time was Zimmerman. Good fix though by Chris Zimmerman. And sending it back over there is Leitzis chasing it down. And the Gaels win the rally. It was a little premature in terms of seeing what was happening as Chris Zimmerman comes across, saves that one, Alex, and keeps it alive, and the Gaels win the point.
Gaels with the point off a volley kill. You don't hear that very often. You won't see that at this level very often. I don't think we'll see it again tonight, but way to score, finding it with the ball outside, forcing it back in across the front of the net.
9-6 the lead now. And a bit of a missed toss there by Zabjak. Had to try to adjust in the air, just couldn't get behind it.
It's interesting, like when he was serving from this side in the first set too, you saw a lot of his tosses come off the side of his hand. And I thought 3 times in a row, was that a miss hit? And it might have been. I don't know if he's fully feeling it from the service line right now.
So service error, and it's now Code back to the line to serve. Good off the arms there of Eric Sixnon. A great serve by Kyler Code. Steals one from the line. It's 9-8 for the Gaels.
Yeah, 9-8 for the Gaels. 9-8 for the Gaels. What a serve! You know, he's leading their team right now, almost double anyone else's points. So he's their guy. He's the go-to. He's trying to keep this Brock Badgers team in this second set.
High toss from Code. That time it's going to go well out the back, as you saw that toss a little too far in front of Kyler Code and tried to have to make an adjustment from a physicality and a pace standpoint. It just doesn't work out that time.
And Ian Evans going, no worries, I don't care. You stole one for us. That's what I'm wanting you for. That's why you're back there giving the green light to serve. You stole one. Let's do it again next time you're up.
10-8 the lead now for the Gaels, and Reed Venning gives one right back.
Yeah, we've seen that too often so far on the Gael side. You can't miss too many serves back to back. You're compounding errors. You pulled away to start off this set. You found a way to get a big lead, but by missing serves, you're allowing the other team to creep back into it.
Solly Lianga back to serve now for the Badgers. They're back to within a single point. Deep float serve, passed up there by Leitzis, and then receives the high ball set from Sixna. Leitzis went off the block and found its way inside the line, Alex, and a good swing on the high ball set from Sixna finds Zig Leitzis, and now he'll go back to the line.
Yeah, it's a really good matchup for Queens, right? Having Leitzis getting up high and hard and taking it over the top of the setter. For Brock, you know, they're going to have that matchup all night, and I think they're going to try to expose it as we move forward.
11-9, great serve out of the back by Leitzis. And getting Zig Leitzis fired up from the service line. A great serve. No answer on receive that time by the Badgers. 12-9, the lead now for the Gaels. Another strong serve. Everyone pulled back over. What a block by Zimmerman, Tompkins, and Sixna. Seal on the triple.
As we said earlier, Dax Thompson is owning the middle of the floor. He's owning that block. He's owning it everywhere. If you give him an opportunity to close on a high ball set, he's going to take it. And you swinging into that, he's going to be here all night. He's loving getting a lot of blocks so far.
13-9, the lead now for the Gaels. Good pass up on receive in tight this time, and it's blocked again. Dax Tompkins putting on a blocking clinic.
I could read that from up here, though. You know on a perfect pass there, it's going to the middle. And he fully commits on it. It's an easy read because they haven't had a good pass in a while. Setter's in the front row, and he's trying to find a way out of it. He gets a perfect pass and thinks I'm going to be able to sneak this one by Dax, who's been owning the middle of the floor. Probably not the best call. You know, maybe try to lead him a bit, think that he's going to force him to commit and leave your outsides some options to swing away. That's the battle you got to think about as a setter. What am I doing and how am I controlling the other side of the net and making my hitters have the best opportunity to score and to win? You know, a lot of times, you know, setters fall into the trap of when it's a perfect pass, I set the middle, and when it's a bad pass, I set the outside. Well, it's really easy and predictable to read as a defense, and you got to be able to give your outside hitters opportunities to score, and ways to do that is with one-on-ones. We saw it early in the first set where Brock was creating a lot of one-on-ones for their hitters. Right now, Dax Thompson is owning the floor. Maybe you got to find a way to spread it a bit and make him move a bit more so that he's not able to get his hands on everything.
14-9, forcing the Badgers into taking a timeout. And Alex, they've taken both of their timeouts here so far. They took one at 5-1, now take one at 14-9. He's gonna have to try to figure things out the rest of the way on the floor. But again, a 5-point advantage here for the Gaels.
Yeah, it was last time he took a timeout as well. It was at 5. It was a 5-point gap. So I think he's just trying to keep his team in the game, keep that, limit that momentum that Queens seems to be building.
So back to serve again is Leitzis. The receive goes to the outside, off the top of the block again. Try to run it back. Redden to Code, and it's out the side. The attacking error by Kyler Code. Things unraveling here for the Badgers. It's 15-9.
And that's what a good block will do, right? It forces the other hitters to think a bit more. They know that there's a big block across from you, and they get a bit too tight with their swings, trying to take it too hard cross court, taking too hard down the line, and that's when you start to get more compounding attacking errors.
15-9 is the advantage. Good pass up and receive by the Badgers, though. They sent to the left side. Good pickup, though, by Leitzis. Rabbit, cross getting behind the ball, just going to get it sent over there is Sixna. And Cooney off the top of the block, able to scramble to get a touch on it, was Leitzis, so to put an end to his service run, but what a run it was to get this separation, and it's 15-10.
Well, they scored, and I think it was, 11-8 or 11-9, and that run, it could have easily been, tied 12-12, but, by scoring a quick point and ripping a couple spinners from the back line, they get a huge margin. And that's what this team's built on, a lot of service aces and service pressure, and that's why when they have spinners back there, give them the green light, and your floaters have to put the ball on the floor to keep you in play.
So Jacob Furlan back to the service line here now for the Badgers. It's a 15-10 advantage. And it's a float serve coming in, passed up by Leitzis, having to get over there is Zimmerman. Good high ball set to the outside by Sixna. Off the arms and out of play, and what a find on the set there by Chris Zimmerman.
Yeah, Rabbit was stepping in saying, I'm going to bump this one back, and Zimmerman said, no. I'm the setter here. Forces it outside, gave a perfect set, high ball management. That's what the big name of the game is. High ball management, finding a way off the top and out of bounds.
16-10, the lead now for the Gaels after the attack by Eric Sixna. And it'll be Tompkins back to the service line. He's been great at the net. He's been great attacking. We'll see if he can steal one here from the line. It's going to go out the back.
Yeah, it's really tough right now because that's a good rotation for Queens to be in when they have the setter up and they have Strong, the middle blocker, and just coming into the front court. He hasn't had much offense. Then as a block defense, okay, it's going to two options, C-ball or left side. Being able to miss there, it's really tough for Queens fans.
16-11, the lead now. Pass comes in tight from Leitzis into the middle. Zabjak finds the sideline, and a big swing by Isaac Zabjak.
He loves coming across body, being able to swing right to that one every time. And, if I'm a blocker on that side, I'm leaning more on his right side because that's where he's found a way to score every single time. It's really hard to stop, though. What a swing by Zabjak.
17-11 after the attack by Isaac Zabjak. It's Zimmerman with the serve. It's a deep float this time. And just going to get pushed over the top there. Code had to make the adjustment after the set gets past the outstretched reach there of Strong in the middle.
And the pressure from Queens is making Brock unravel a bit right now. Let's see if they can find a way to come in together, collect themselves, and work on this offense to try to build some momentum.
Pass comes in tight, and it's going to be an overpass led. Sixna puts the ball up into the roof. Eric Sixna, 19-11. And we mentioned, Alex, both timeouts from the Badgers gone.
Yeah, both timeouts gone. You maybe need a substitution to try to find a way to get a little break here, but a 19-11 set here, you're just trying to build momentum to the third.
So 19-11 is the advantage here, and Zimmerman serving, and it's going to go out the back this time.
Float serve misses, though. That's the tough part. This is such aggressive team from the service line. It's okay to have a miss every now and then, but to end both of your runs serving with misses is a tough look with so many other spinners in your lineup.
Devin Cooney back to serve here for the Badgers. Be a high toss from Cooney into the net. And the service error from Devin Cooney balloons the lead for the Gaels up to 8 late in this second set. So Sixna now back to the service line here, and with a little bit of separation. Swings away, but a good pass up by Cooney. Set to the right side to Code. Goes down the line as Rabbit in position, gets contact, but can't keep it central off his hands and out of play.
Yeah, he left the line wide open, and that's when he swung away and found that line shot. Rabbit was really close, just got one hand on it.
20-13, the advantage here now for the Badgers. Passed up in tight by Rabbit, set to the right side, ball to Venning! Straight down the line the other way, and Reed Venning answers the call for the Gaels, 21-13.
Yeah, smart play, middle coming in the back, serving, spreading the offense back, give him a clean swing down the line. You know, it's really tough as a middle blocker coming in to play defense on a hard driven ball down that line.
And Zabjak will see if he can correct maybe his contact point on his serve this time around. It's a deep ball, but it's passed up, comes in tight, set to the left side, and a good response by Solly Lianga.
Just a tough setup on the block. Venning was way too far inside. He had the full line and somehow swung inside of him into the middle of the floor. You know, if they're blocking ball, they need to take away the middle of the floor. They were too far across, and he had the full two positions to swing at.
Overpass, and the service ace goes once again off the arms of Sixna and up over top and out of play. And
yeah, this is where they're saying, they're talking to timeout. Okay, let's go. Let's close this set. We're good. Yeah, we're good. Top clap. Yeah, we're fine. But they're building momentum. That's the tough part right now, and you don't want them to be able to build momentum.
And a roll shot this time by Code. And a good swing this time by Litzis. Answers right back. And it's 22-15. And again, a great job by the Gaels to side out. And Venning will go back to the service line here. And a 7-point advantage for the Gaels trying to close out this second set. Pass comes in tight. Good peek go across by Redden. Kyler Code out of the C-ball. Good find cross court.
Yeah, one-on-one there on the outside by having a good enough pass to keep Dak Thompson staying at home with that middle and setting it right back to get a full swing out of that C-ball.
22-16 as Solly Lianga will go back to the service line here for the Badgers. Toss and it's straight down the line as Litzis has to get there, scrambled, and Litzis stays on top of it. Able to get it sent inside. Strong takes first ball. Code off the block again. Tompkins and Litzis, 23-16.
What a huge block. What a play by Tompkins coming over, closing that block. He knew where it was going after that score, that last play around, but Brock didn't take care of the free ball, and it made them pay.
23-16, the advantage here now for the Gaels. And Zig Litzis, who's been strong from the line, back to serve. It's another great serve, comes in tight. Another joust one this time by the Badgers, as the Gaels thought maybe it had come back off of Redden.
It's one of those plays, right, like where, you know, if you go slow-mo replay, you might see it still on his hand as he's flicking it out of bounds, but setters love jousts, and they love being able to go up against that outside and wipe it off them. You know, they always seem to find a way to get the advantage there.
Badgers back within 6, and serving here is Furland. Zimmerman to the outside, Sixna. Off the hands of Furland, Lianga keeps it back in play. She's going to get tipped over the top as Tompkins tried to send that one back. Sixna angles. A good find by Eric Sixna, seeing where the block was set up, and cuts back the other way. Set point, Queens.
Yeah, I think Tompkins was thinking he's going to try to set it over short, and I'm going to go up for the quick swing right away. It was over the top. They kind of a bit of a scramble mode, and Eric Sixna trying to find a way, curving it in, almost like a beach shot to the corner for the score.
24-17, the lead now for the Gaels. They're facing multiple set points here. Try to close it out on the serve by Tompkins. Leads to a pass in tight, just going to get sent over by Redden. High C-ball just tipped over by Venning. They'll try to reset again. They come back to Venning again. Reed Venning puts an end to the second set. What a swing out of the sea by Venning. 25-17. Second set goes to the Gaels. We're tied at 1.
What a swing, you know, that's a statement win second set for the Gaels here. What a swing, way to find a way to pull out that set victory.
Teams are tied after the first 2 sets. Join us back for the third. You're watching Gaels and Badgers OUA men's volleyball semifinals on OUA TV.
Stay up to date on your Queens Gaels by following your teams on Facebook, Twitter, and
exceptional student athletes are born, where records are broken, where great plays are made, where school colors ignite passion, where champions prevail, where tradition is celebrated. Ontario University Athletics.
And welcome back to the Athletics and Recreation Center. Getting a look at the scoreboard there to see who is putting in work here, Alex, and looking across at the Brock side of things. It's been a great start to the match by the right side, Kyler Code. A little bit of balance on the other side, though, looking at the Gaels, as you see Leitzis with 9, Sixna with 7, and Dax Tompkins been outstanding at the net, in particular in that second set.
Yeah, a huge presence to the net, and that's really what brought them away and made them pull away. They got really good serving pressure down the stretch and were able to find early leads and held that lead due to that block defense. It was kind of clinical win there for the Gaels. That's what they've done all year when they've won the game. They've served tough and relied on their block defense to score points. It'll be interesting to see how Brock's able to respond out of that. They kind of held their own and had the will to win that first one. In the second set, it kind of flipped completely, and a bit of a different tale of the tape. Queens all of a sudden in this match now is hitting way better than Brock at 231 compared to 160. It's kind of a reverse tale of what we saw earlier, and the big difference now is we saw a lot of digs on Brock. Now we saw a lot of blocks on Queen's side. 10 block assists, 4 solo blocks. We have 0 block assists, only 1 solo on Brock. I think maybe they might have missed one in there because I think we probably saw 1 or 2 more blocks on the Brock side, but that's been the big difference. I can't remember the last block I saw by Brock in this match, and that's been a huge difference in the ability for Queens to pull away.
So the Gaels take the second set 25-17. They lost the opening set 27-25. And again, we're now into that best of 3, Alex. Again, a 25-17 margin of victory in the second set as we get ready to start the third, as the Badgers will have the opening set with Kyler Code. Passed up off the arms, having to adjust there is Zimmerman, trying to get the high ball set across. Coach Ian Ebbett unhappy with the lack of double touch call, as Venning keeps it alive. Set to the left side. Leitz is going to get sent over. Code has to adjust. Across to Lianga. And the Badgers take the opening point of the third set. He's still a little bit unhappy as Coach Ian Ebbett that there wasn't a double touch call there on the Gaels.
Yeah, it's a tough one, sometimes they just want to let them play, let the players figure it out on the floor. Sometimes when it gets a lot of spin on it, it looks ugly coming out. That's when players and coaches get upset.
So Lianga finds a way to score. Passed up there by Leitzis, set into the middle. Tompkins! And what a swing by Dax Tompkins. That left side shoulder fully pulled in and just cuts away to the tee.
Yeah, it kind of opened up, right? The set was pulled off the net a little bit. A bit of a 31 play. Was able to open up, find him. Great swing, great way to start off this third set.
Reed Venning back to the line to serve here now for the Gaels. Off the tape and off the arms. Lianga has to scramble to get there, and running out of real estate was Jacob Furland.
Yeah, great swing coming across there. Code was coming across trying to see if he got a piece of that, but no chance. What a swing, what a serve.
So Venning back to the line once again here for the Gaels. A high toss by Venning. Off the forearms again, but kept in by Lianga. But they set Lianga, and what a response. We sell that middle again there by Furland, and they overload again to that left side, and a swing by Lianga.
Yeah, forcing the overload, and it was a good pass out of a surprisingly tough serve. And it's interesting, when the setter gets pulled across and you're running that 31 zone, it's hard not to react by both pins because you have 2 blockers in front of the middle, and it goes over the top. Free swing, no block, and a score.
So 2-2, the team's trading the first 4 points of this pivotal third set. Tompkins swings away again, as Tompkins got a good scramble to get there by Code, sent over on the free ball. Gaels want to try to move fast here. Zimmerman, left side, Leitzis swings away, and Zig Leitzis high off the block. And out of play, the Gaels retake the lead.
High off the block, out of the play. I still would love to see a better pass off a free ball. because it got pulled away, and you saw 2 hands on a free ball pass. You know, when it's free ball and you're running your full offense, you usually see a lot of one-on-ones. We didn't there. That's because they didn't get that perfect pass right to the net to force the middle to make a decision.
Spin serve upcoming from Lietzis. It's short into the tape. And we'll give one right back to the Badgers. And we're tied at 3 in the early stages of this third set.
Up to serve for the Badgers is number 10, Jacob Furland.
So Furland to serve. Float serve upcoming by Furland. That goes down the line, passed up. Set to the outside to Sixna. And contact on the block, no. And the attacking error by Eric Sixna gives the advantage to the Badgers. The lead now for Brock. Deep float serve, passed up in tight by Rabbit. The dump over this time by Zimmerman. But it's picked up and Code out of the sea, and Kyler Code continuing his strong evening here out of the opposite for the Badgers.
Yeah, you can see that Brock front line tactically trying to push over with this float serve. He's trying to serve it right over the top. Look at that front court stacked over, forcing it down the line, making it a tough set for Zimmerman as it's coming from behind him. Great tactical play here by trying to block and screen out the passers.
Passed up there by Lietzis. Set out to the left side, Sixna off the top of the block. Lianga in position, but takes a roll off the forearms. And out of play, the Gaels are back within 1.
Yeah, perfect pass, and Liam Strong got stuck there, thinking that it was going to be going to the middle and leaving a one-on-one with Queens' best player on the outside having a free swing.
So Dax Tompkins now to the service line here for the Gaels. So 4 dropped in and receive. Tompkins takes a bit of pace off. Lianga able to get there. Redden to Code, goes cross. Passed up by Reed Venning. Set back to Venning out of the sea, and Reed Venning finds a seam in the block and in the defense. Great swing by Venning.
Great swing by Venning. It still looks like it gets a bit up there, a bit high. Lots of time for the block to close on that. It wasn't there that time, but it had a lot of time to form there as the ball kind of got skied up a little bit. Wasn't Venning's full pace on that shot, but he was able to find a way to score.
So teams are back level once again. We're tied at 5. With Dax Tompkins back to the service line here for the Gaels. A high toss, and this time into the net, as Tompkins can't get fully behind that one, and it's a service error.
It's the risk reward, right? His first time he tossed it too far back, kind of roll shotted it in, and was able to get a 2-pass. That next time he throws it up almost a meter in front of the line, has to really go up and get it, and puts it into the net. No point. You know, sometimes it's not a bad thing to put a nice 80% shot in to force the other team to play.
Off the arms there of Sixna. Forearm high ball set to the outside, rolls over the top, having to scramble underneath there is Redden, and they get it to the outside, and the block again! Push to the left side to Cooney. Sixna seals triple block, and the Gaels are tied at 6.
Yeah, that's the staple of what Queens did that second set to win that set, was able to find ways to put pressure on and get triple blocks on the outside, giving Brock no chance to find a way around it.
Zimmerman back to serve for the Gaels. Passed up inside by Nanli Youssef, and it's blocked out of play this time. Is that rotation, they get Code with the left-handed swing, Alex, on that left side pin. Is just able to allow the ball to come all the way across, and then just swings with pace off the block and out of play.
Yeah, maybe a bit late on Venning getting out there. He was up high, just maybe he didn't get fully to that line to close out on that left shoulder.
Devin Cooney back to serve now for the Badgers. High toss, and it's out the back on the service error. As Cooney tried to steal one for the Badgers, but a little too much pace and goes out the back.
Tried to steal one, kind of went a bit too hard, missed by about a foot out the back.
So tied at 7 with Eric Sixna now back to the service line here for Queens. A spinner upcoming by Sixna, good pass by Lianga. Set to the right side to Code, gets it through the block as he goes hard cross outside the block frame there by Lietzis as it was closed by Zabjek, but able to swing away, and Zimmerman in position, can't quite get it picked up though.
Yeah, great colos. It's just sometimes better offense beats the defense, and he found a way to swing hard. He's got a good arm on that right side there, does Code, so he had a good free swing, hitting it hard, sharp cross court.
13th point of the match. That one drops in for the service ace for the Badgers, just touching that sideline. 9-7 the advantage now for Brock. As Liam Strong continues the service run. Set to the right side ball, Venning out the back. It's going to say touch though. Off the block. And the Gaels back within one.
Brings Zabjak back to serve. Let's see if he can put some good pace on this one. He's kind of struggled a bit trying to get it off the side of his hand with a bit of rolly. Let's see if he can put some pace on this serve.
Brings Tompkins back into the front row. We saw a good blocking display by Zabjak on the last rotation through. Good pass inside though and serve receive. And Lianga right over top of the block. What a bury there by Solly Lianga.
Yeah, what a bury. That was just, one-on-one bounce. I'm not sure what happened with Venning there. He didn't get up and press early in that block. I think he got hung up by that 31 overload, pushing over the top and just able to bounce it straight down.
Passed up there, second ball coming here from Leitzis. Staying on top to swing, gets just a touch over top of the net and dump back the other way, but Sixna able to get down and pick it up. Off the block and a good swing by Leitzis. Able to stay the course, and it's swung into the block and out of play. Point to the Gaels.
You can see the frustration there with Liam Redding. They found that multiple times tonight with that matchup, being able to take it off his outside hand does Leitzis. And so look to get that to continue. If I'm Zimmerman, I'm saying I'm going right back there. Let's frustrate the setter on blocking on the other side.
Passed up there, off the serve from Venning. Tipped over the top, and a pancake picked up there by Venning. Swing off the block, and it's eaten up again. Point goes to the Gaels. We're tied at 10.
Yeah, great pancake. Way to keep the ball alive. Look at this replay. He has a full swing off the top of the block and out of bounds. Way to scoop in there and get that pancake.
10-10 in this third set. We're tied at a set apiece, and Venning swings away on the serve. Set to the outside, Lianga, what a scoop though by Rabbit! And nobody there for the Gaels on second ball. And a great pickup though by Lexon Rabbit on the dig, but drops to the open floor.
Yeah, everyone in the crowd saying, go, 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 go. Someone's got to get there. On a play like that by Rabbit, someone's got to step up. I know the setter was pulled out by being so far outside off the block, but if he's not going to get there, he's got to be yelling, help, 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 so someone knows to step in and take that second ball.
So 11-10 the advantage here now for the Badgers. Deep float serve, passed up. Set back to the outside, off the block. It's picked up by Venning, tipped over by Zimmerman. Set into the middle, and a good run, but it's backed over, sent across by Sixna. Set to the left side, and puts away this time is Cooney. And a good job to end the rally that time by the Badgers.
Yeah, 31 overload again, right? By getting the middle in the action, in play, pushing that, making Tompkins make that decision. Am I staying with the middle or am I trying to get outside? They're really trying to make Tompkins work so that they don't know what's coming, to keep him out of the play, out of the block. Great job by the setter on Brock.
Lianga to serve. Pass comes in tight. They set the pipe, and it's a little bit shallow for Sixna. Set back to the far side to Cooney off the block. Kept alive by Code, and the block scheme again at the net for the Gaels. Been outstanding all evening long here, Alex, and it's Tompkins involved once again.
Tompkins involved once again. When they're able to get him in the play, Tompkins is hard to go around. He's such a big physical blocker, and Brock is trying to find ways to keep him out of the way.
12-11 the advantage, and it's a serve into the net this time by Leitzis. So the 2-point cushion back for the Badgers. So 13-11. The advantage here now for Brock. Back to serve is Jacob Furlan. Passed up by Sixna, set into the middle off the top of the swing by Tompkins. Set to the left side, out the back by Cooney. No touch called, and they're going to say touch on the block. And the point goes to the Badgers.
Yeah, no argument there for Tompkins. You know he touched it. It's just you try to get away with those sometimes. When it's barely a picky fingertip, you're like, they didn't see that. But you know, good vision by the linesman at the back to see that happening.
Timeout taken here by the Gaels. They trail 14-11. And midway through this third set, sort of a run here by the Badgers gives them a 3-point cushion here.
Yeah, I didn't think it was slipping away from the Gaels at all there. I think it's just he wanted a bit of a breather. Maybe he saw something that we're not seeing up there that he wanted to talk to the team about. I think what Brock has had success in is forcing the ball to the outside and being able to have free swings on the left side. I think maybe he's calling a timeout, seeing Brock's having success here. What can we do differently? Maybe we need to change our block scheme a little bit and key in a bit more on the outside. You know, we saw a lot with Cone early on in the first two sets scoring at will. It almost seemed like now they're switching it up and having Cooney on the outside, having free swings and bounce a couple balls. You know, so if maybe they're thinking, okay, Tompkins switch back to a read block system, you know, stay down and really try to focus on getting to Cooney because he's the one who's beating us right now.
So coming out of the timeout, it is 14-11 for the Badgers. And mentioned Kyler Code, he's been outstanding on the right side tonight for the Brock Badgers.
And it's interesting too when Brock's back to the line with their float servers, they're really stacking up. It almost seems like in front of Leitzis every time. They don't want Leitzis to see the ball. They're screening him wherever it goes, and they're really trying to force him to play. I know last time they went across and served cross court, but it looks like they're really trying to target Leitzis from the service line.
So back to serve once again here is Furland. Passed up by Sixna. Set to the C ball. Benning tries to find the back corner, but it's going long and out the back. And it's a 4-point lead now for the Badgers.
Yeah, Coach Ian Ebbett telling them, give him the line. He's missed a couple times on that sharp line. Stay ball across court. Let him swing away down the line because he's had a couple of errors.
Furland to serve once again here for Brock. Passed up in tight by Rabbit. Set to the left side. Sixna just wipes it into the block and finds the open floor. And a great side out to put an end to the run by the Badgers. Gaels back within 3.
Yeah, late block closing outside. He had a lot of room to either swing, but he decided, you know, I see the option open right in the middle. I can just dunk it. And he forced it hard down with the tip.
Gaels back within 3. It's 15-12. And Dax Tompkins to the service line here for Queens. Be a high toss. And it's off the forearms there of Yusuf. Gets him moving forward a little bit. And
I said this last time though, right? Tompkins, his first serve last time was just like that. It wasn't as aggressive. He threw it up and he was able to put a hard roll that forced Brock's passing lineup forward and caused an error. Let's see if he's going to do the same thing or if he's going to go up and try to rip it.
Tompkins again back to the service line. The Gaels trailing 15-13. Gets served down, passed up by Lianga, set into the middle. And they run it to Liam Strong, and the Badgers side out.
First time we saw Liam Strong have a clean set with a full swing. He's able to do it. Maybe they're going to try to make Zabjak think a bit more on the other side of like, where's this ball going? Now that Liam Strong's in the match with a hard swing.
3-point cushion back restored here now for the Badgers. They lead 16-13. Pass comes in tight by Leitzis. Zimmerman with the joust. Pushes over and off the hands of the block and drops to the open floor, and the Gaels are back within 2.
Setters love jousts. I don't know what it is, but every setter across the OUA, across the country, across the world, they love getting in joust matchups just to show that they have better control with the ball over anyone else.
Zimmerman now back to the service line for the Gaels. It's a deep float serve, passed up by Yusuf. Set to the right side ball, off the top of the block. Gets there as Rabbit. Can they keep it alive? No. Just running out of space on this near sideline, but a good touch by Rabbit to keep it alive. But
yeah, that's a decision of, is it worth sacrificing the body Probably not at this stage in the game. There's a lot of volleyball left. Don't need to jump over the stands into the crowd for 1 point. You know, you're in the playoffs right now. That 1 point, getting injured, might not be worth it.
Passed up by Rabbit. Zimmerman, left side ball. Good find though by Reed Venning. The triple block coming across and just seeing those gaps in the defense inside the attack line.
Yeah, it was kind of easy to read. I saw that coming from a mile away with the set high and inside. You know, the block's coming in, and he showed it early, but the libero on Brock wasn't able to see it, and he put it right to the perfect spot on that triple block.
17-15, the lead now for the Brock Badgers. Gaels trying to pull even. Takes a bit off on the serve. Good fix on the set that time by the Badgers, and Code comes back the other way and tips over the top.
As I said earlier, there's nothing worse as a middle blocker coming across, and just as you're falling down, that ball's following with your hands, and you know it's going to be really tough for the libero to make a play on it behind me.
14th point of the match for Kyler Code. It's a 3-point gap restored now for the Badgers. Set to the left side, Leitzis off the top of the block. Point goes to the Gaels. Drops to the open floor. They're trading back and forth here.
Yeah, it's tough when Ian Evans, you know, was a bit upset, but on the coach on the sideline saying that was in. I could tell that was in. It was in for sure. So Ian Evans knows that was the right call.
18-16 for the Badgers. Back to the line to serve is Zabjak. Passed up by Cooney. Redden pushed to the outside to Lianga, and Sully Lianga able to navigate around the block and finds a gap deep into 6. So Code now back to the service line here for the Badgers. It's a 3-point cushion. 19-16. High toss by Code. Passed up by Rabbit. Zimmerman. Leitzis! Finds the back corner, and OT this time by Zig Leitzis.
And we've said this multiple times. Great set, great decision making. Go over top of the setter. You know, Redding's not able to get up and hang with Leitzis right now. So keep that matchup going, keep setting him, and allow him to swing right over the top and score.
Venning tried to steal one from the service line here. Takes a bit off, pass from inside. They set to Code, straight down the line, and Kyler Code sees the gap in the block to the outside as they're blocking cross.
They were blocking hard cross. He had a lot of room down the line. You know, Rabbit was about 1 meter, 2 meters into the court trying to dig that ball. That's a lot of line to give up on someone who swings so well and is the highest point scorer for Brock.
20-17, the advantage here now for the Badgers. There's a float serve coming by Lianga. Zimmerman set the C-ball to Venning! Off the arms of Yusuf and out of play. And what a swing by Reed Venning that time.
What a swing. That was more in rhythm. It didn't get jacked up nice and high like we saw earlier. That was more in rhythm, what Reed Venning wants. And he was able to swing as hard as he could down that line. Uncontrollable by Brock.
Ben Moffitt coming back in to serve for Zig Leitzis. 20-18, the advantage for the Badgers getting into the late stages of this third set. Team splitting the first two. It was 27-25 in the opening set for the Badgers as Moffitt comes in to serve. Pass from Lianga, set to the outside. It's pushed by Cooney. Thought maybe there was a lift call coming, but they set into the middle to Tompkins. Throw tip off the block. Lianga to Code on the C-ball. Passed up by Rabbit. In tight to the tape. Pushed over there by Zimmerman. Set to the left side. Code block! Zimmerman. Tompkins off the swing by Cooney. Gaels within 1.
What a point by Zimmerman, getting up, pressing over the net. He knew it was going there. Tompkins kind of there, but that was all Zimmerman on that block.
20-19 now for the Badgers. Moffitt back to serve once again. And we'll see if Moffitt steal one from the line, this time short into the net. And a 2-point lead back restored for the Badgers.
It's a tough thing to come in cold off the bench and rip a spin serve, you know. But kudos to him putting that first one in nice and hard. Missed the second one. You did your job. You stole a point. That's what you came in for.
So Gaels within 2. It's 21-19 in favor of the Badgers. Passed up by Leitzis. Zimmerman set to the left side. Sixna off the top of the block. And Lianga there to scramble. Can't find a way back in. Queens back within a single. It's 21-20 for the Badgers. And we'll get a substitution here. Is Oliver Prentice going to come in to serve? And another strong server for the Queens Gaels is Prentice. It's 21-20. Float serve by Prentice. Kind of rolls off the arms a little bit there as Cooney tips over the top. Sent back though. Lianga scrambles. Free ball upcoming. Just get pushed over. Prentice gets there. Set to the left side. Sixna! Straight down the line but picked up by Code. Set to the left side. Cooney! Block! Zimmerman! Zabjak! We're tied at 21.
Huge blocks back to back from Zimmerman. Wow, they tried to run that offense really fast. They came in free ball. They were flying in. Cooney was on the outside and Zimmerman got up there nice and early, pressed. Huge block.
And it's an outstanding set back and forth between these two sides and great contact. Two sequences in the last 3 or 4 points. Off the block from Chris Zimmerman, Alex. And we're tied at 21 apiece and a timeout taken now by the Badgers to try to settle things down.
And Coach Ian Evatt was pulling Redding over right away to talk to him about his decision making and his choices there. They found ways to stop Cooney lately. They've been forcing it to Cooney. Queens has stopped it. Maybe you need to think a bit differently. How are we getting something else in? Your high point scorer so far is Cone. Maybe getting him involved. Maybe you run a 31 overload and flip it back to the C ball, one-on-one on that side. You need to think a bit creatively of what you're trying to do to mess with Brock's blocking defense, because we know that's their biggest strength. So you need to think 2 steps ahead of how you're going to be able to take advantage of that.
And the Gaels' block scheme been outstanding all evening long, and as Alex mentioned, maybe trying to get that block scheme moving a little bit, get a little bit of separation and try to find some seams to swing through. Because right now the Gaels blocking at the net, the defense putting on a show, but it's still, we're tied at 21. The Gaels fighting their way back in what's been sort of a 3 or 4 point separation throughout the balance of the set. And now Prentice back to serve once again. It's a deep ball, it's going to go out the back. And wisely letting that one go was Lianga. 22-21 for the Badgers.
You did your job, back-to-back serving subs, stealing 1 point. But if you want to run away with this set, you need to contain that sustained serving pressure. One is not good enough to come in. You need to get back-to-back as a serving sub.
So Rabbit comes back onto the floor after the service run by Prentice. A spinner upcoming, more of a hybrid sort of float, and it's one back the other way. And what a great reaction by Ziglitsis.
Great reaction, back-to-back misses. You know, a miss after a miss is something that a coach never wants to see. You know, so really happy on the Gale side, but very upset maybe on the Brock side.
So Zimmerman back to serve now. We're tied at 22. It's that tricky float serve to navigate here for the Badgers receive. Yusuf picks it up. Forearm set to the outside to Code off the top of the block. Redden able to get back there. They set to Code again off the block. It's recycled. Try for the 3rd time. Code with a tip. Picked up defensively. Set by Zimmerman to the outside. Sixna off the block! Eric Sixna puts an end to the rally, and the Gaels are up 23-22.
Huge play by the Gaels. Block again, finding ways to keep in the play. Slow them down, slow them down. Now it's our opportunity, and we're going to score.
We'll see where Zimmerman goes here on serve receive. Yusuf had a bit of a mishandle on that last run through. Good pass by Cooney. They run the middle, cut to the outside. Gonna paint the sideline. Point goes to Brock.
Yeah, that's that smart play by Redden. They haven't ran that very often. You don't really expect that coming across, and that's why the block was late and he was able to find that sideline.
Good adjustment by Liam Strong, able to find it. And now a serving sub coming in, as Cooney is gonna come out and in to serve will be Adrian Gaspar. Good serve by Gaspar, getting across his Sixna, having to get back up in time, sending over the free ball. Set into the middle, off the top of the block. Good scramble to get there, in tight again, off the top of the block. Zimmerman to the right side, Sixna off the top. Able to get there is Gaspar, right side, Code, straight down the line. Paints the corner, set point Brock.
Yeah, he's loving that line shot right now. Might be the time to switch that block, come inside, change it up a little bit time to time, take away that line shot. That's multiple times in a row we've seen Code leaving him the line shot, and he's swinging freely on Rabbit. It's hard for Rabbit to take up that much backcourt and be able to cover that much space. That was almost, in between position 5 and 6 where he's able to score.
16th point of the match for Kyler Code. And it's a set point opportunity here now for the Badgers. They take the opening set 27-25. Gaels respond with a 25-17 victory in the second. But again, the fight back and forth here. Set point opportunity. And if you're in the timeout here, Alex, and kind of maybe just going over and maybe seeing where setup is, maybe addressing serving tendencies and maybe trying to find a way to side out here, obviously.
You're talking maybe a bit about serving tendencies, but you're talking more about like what offense you're kind of run. You're talking to the setter. Setter's making decisions, not necessarily right now, but thinking about where he's leaning towards. You're mostly focused on what they have up front. You know that Code is up at the front of the net. He's in the front. Setter's in the backcourt on the other side. You know who you're dealing with the net. Are they commit blocking? Coaches should know that. What's going to happen if we have a perfect pass? Are they going to commit? Are we going to be able to have one-on-one on the outside? Or if he's not committing, he's read blocking, might be a really good time to add that middle and be able to have a free swing there.
So set point for the Badgers. Gaspar into serve off the tape, and it's into the antenna. And the serving error from Adrian Gaspar, as he'll come back off the floor. But you mentioned it, the other side, Alex, where he's able to steal one and put the Badgers in a position to close out the set, but now it's Sixna back to the line.
Sixna back to the line. He loves the spotlight right here. He's been able to find that gap in between, right in front of those passers. Let's see if he's going to rip one or take a little off speed.
Sixna off the tape! And Eric Sixna pushes the Gaels to set points as it drops in front of Yusuf.
He was able to rip that ball, and even with the tape slowing it down, they weren't able to pass that ball. That's how much pace and speed we've seen so far from Sixna.
And now a timeout taken by Ian Ebbett to try to settle things down from the Gaels service line. And if you're Eric Sixna, again, just stealing one from the line there, you have set points in a pivotal third set, Alex, between these two sides, going into extras for the second time so far in the match. And maybe just sort of a freeze timeout on this side here from Coach Ian Ebbett and trying to find a way to side out.
Yeah, it's probably a bit of a freeze timeout, but that was one of the first times. I think I only saw 3 passers back there for Brock. A lot of the time when you had Sixna back from the line, you put in 4 passers. They went with 3, and that left bigger seams. They weren't able to handle that seam. So I'm not sure if they'll try to change it up a little bit to add a 4th passer in to try to take away some of those seam spaces for Sixna to swing away. We'll see what they do. It looks right now, though, that they're coming back just with the 3. It's because they're in this rotation with Cone up front. They can't go 4. So definitely winning on the matchup front right now on the Gale side, because they want their best server with only 3 passers back there. So they probably saw this before in the scouting report. It just so happens right now to be the most important in the match with your best server going up against 3 passers.
25-24, the advantage here for the Gaels. All 4 timeouts are burned. And Sixna to the line, 3 deep serve receivers here. Try to find the security outlet if they can get a clean pass. Probably anticipate a set out to Code, but it's set point for the Gaels. Sixna, and it's wide of the courts. And the service error by Eric Sixna, trying to find that back corner.
Yeah, a bit of a phase. It didn't have full topspin on it. That's why it didn't drop. It kind of skipped out and just missed the back corner.
We're tied at 25, and now it's going to be Liam Strong back to the service line here for the Badgers. Kind of stacking over to that right side. It's a deep float serve, and it's out the back. Lexon Rabbit ensuring that one was going out. Set point once again for Queens, and it's going to be Zabjak to the service line for the Gaels.
Miss serves after 20. It can't happen. That's what you practice all year for, especially float servers. You can't miss in that spot.
To be a hard, aggressive spinner here. You see the receive a little bit dispersed here on the serve upcoming by Zabjak, and it's passed up by Yusuf. Set high ball to Lianga off the top of the block, and the Gaels scramble to get there. They will by Litis. It gets sent back over. They set to the right side to Code, and it's blocked by Litis. Third set to the Gaels, 27-25. Gaels up 2-1.
Unbelievable block. No. Get that garbage out of here.
And the Gaels take an unbelievable third set between these two sides. Join us back for the 4th. Should be another thriller. Gaels up 2-1 in this OUA semifinal.
The Gaels are now leading the Badgers with a score of 2-1.
Tell them it's packed.
And welcome back to the Athletics and Recreation Center. We are getting set for the fourth set of this OUA semifinal between the Queens Gaels and the Brock Badgers. And Alex, the Gaels taking the third, 27-25, and lead the match 2-1. What stands out on the stat sheet after the first three sets?
Just block defense. You know, we're seeing it in the match. We saw it end the set there. You know, they're just out blocking the Brock Badgers by a wide margin. I'm not sure if this is still right, but it still says only one block solo for the Brock Badgers. I feel like they had another block that set, but it's still hard to remember when that last block was. That's the name of the game right now. Serve tough, serve challenging, and find a way to get more blocks. Pretty dominant end of set there for Queens. It's a battle right now, a couple close sets, 27-5, 25, going back and forth both ways. You know, Brock can't be too upset with the way they played so far. I think they've held tight in this match. They've been able to play well. I think, you know, some decision-making going back, repeat to the same players kind of hurt them down the set because Queens was able to stuff block that a couple times. They were able to score with Liam Strong coming in a bit strong, setting that set to the middle in the end, but weren't able to pull through, and that's why the Gaels are out on top.
So Queens takes the third set 27-25, and they take the lead in the match 2-1. But the serve from Reed Venning goes into the tape to give the first point of the fourth set to the Badgers. And they'll send Grant Redden back to the service line and bring Kyler Code into the front row. Here is Redden on the serve. Goes off the tape. The overpass swung back. And what a read that time by Tompkins. Zimmerman, excuse me.
Zimmerman again. You know, he's finding a way to get in the play, get up, stay high and strong. That's in the last 10 points. We have Zimmerman having 3 solo blocks. What a play, Zimmerman.
So we're tied at 1 in the very early stages of this fourth set. Yusuf gets across, pass to the far side as Code sends it over into the middle. Just getting contact on that one was Redden. Going to get sent back over as the Badgers bench looking for a lift call. Set to the right side, tipped over the top. Set to the left side. Sixna wipes it into the block. Rabbit gets up. Sixna swings away. Passed up by Yusuf. Redden, left side, Code, out the back. And they're going to say it was contact. The point's going to go to the Badgers.
Yeah, Ian Evans still upset about that potential lift call. I didn't think it was that bad, but they get the point anyways with the net call.
So maybe looking for an explanation here is going to be Grant Redden. But again, nonetheless, the Badgers do get the point and take a 2-1 lead.
The Badgers, I'm not sure what's going on. There's talking to the ref right now. He might be talking about the reactions from the bench and the team back there saying, you know, enough is enough. I've heard it all night. I'm the one leading the officials. Coach doesn't need to hear it. He knows what's going to happen. So all good. We move forward, 2-1, fourth set.
Cooney back to serve here, and it's an ace for, no, going to go at the back. That one was close. And it's going to be a service error this time. It goes long and out the back.
Yeah, that was a tough one. From this point of view, that looked like it clipped the back corner, you know. But ref says no. They have a better view. They're right on that sideline.
So Tompkins going to go back to the service line here for the Gaels. Be a high toss here from Dax Tompkins. Toss up in the overpass though by Yusuf. Zimmerman takes first ball. Zabchak thought about swinging on the 2-ball, but gets it across to Sixna. And Eric Sixna with a great adjustment comes hard cross off the hands.
Yeah, hard cross off the hands. You know, if you're betting, you got to call Zimmerman off so that you can take that first ball so you can keep your offense in system.
So the Gaels take the advantage here. It's 3-2 in the early stages of this fourth set. And it'll be Tompkins back to serve here for the Gaels. High toss by Dax Tompkins. Passed up by Cooney. Redden inside to Lianga. Defense there by Tompkins, and then Sixna in tight, just trying to wipe it off the block, but it's read nicely there by Strong.
What a scoopy by Tompkins there with the two hands, underhand, kind of a gator type play. What a dig, but unable to get that point as he tried to wipe it off the block with two hands.
Tied at 3, and it's Liam Strong back to serve here for the Badgers. Deep float serve, good pass up with the hands though by Sixna to the pipe. Good swing though, and it's picked up defensively by the Badgers, set to the outside to Lianga. Recycled, now out of the pipe to Cooney off the top of the block. And Devin Cooney, great swing out of the back row.
That is all Grant Redding. Scoopy on the coverage, keeping that ball alive, letting his offense swing away. If I can't set it, I'm going to dig it. Let my team go ahead and score.
4-3, the lead now for the Badgers. Passed up there by Leitzis. Now Sixna finds the back line, and Eric Sixna gets everything behind that one.
Everything behind that one, kind of almost like OT. It was hard to tell if he found an angle in between or if that was over the top. Either way, back corner of the court, easy way to score as an outside.
So tied at 4, and Zimmerman will go back to serve here for the Gaels. Goes shallow off the tape. Pass goes to the left side by Lianga, picked up there by Zimmerman. Set comes inside, just going to get pushed over. High ball set to the right side. Code off the block. Kind of comes back looking for the double, and now looking for contact at the net. And a Code blocked again. They'll recycle though. Set to Code, or Lianga blocked out of play. Off the tool. Point's going to go to Brock.
Yeah, that's a really tough one there because Code came down and he had one motion, but it hit him clearly twice off the chest and the arms. It's tough as a ref because you're allowed one clean motion on first contact and there's no doubles. But it pretty clearly looked like it hit him in the chest, then the hands. The ref says no, and then there's kind of an argument of like whether or not it hit the net.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it goes point to Brock.
5-4 the lead for the Badgers. Code picked up there. Zimmerman with a forearm set to Vetting, goes cross, passed up by Yusuf. We get brought back in by Lianga. Cooney tries to stay on top of it, sends over the free ball out of the back row. Set to the right side, Sixna, cross off of Code and out of play. Eric Sixna.
Yeah, they like finding Zixna on the right side, right? You have Venning on the left, Zixna on the right, and they love getting him involved from when he's on that right side. And it brings him back to the line to serve.
So Eric Zixna, 4 dropped in deep in serve receive. A high toss by Zixna, short into the tape. And they get Zixna off the line, and they're now up 6-5. So Solly Lianga back to serve here now for the Badgers. Float serve by Lianga. Off the arms there of Ziglitsas and into the stands to give the ace to Solly Lianga.
Bit uncharacteristic of Ziglitsas, but that's what they're trying to do with their float servers. They're trying to wear Litsas down. They've been targeting him all night. They throw that screen right in front of him and fire it over the top so he can't see it till the last second.
Deep serve again. Litsas pass comes in tight. Zimmerman able to get there. Litsas able to side out on his own. Great set back across by Zimmerman, and Litsas finds a way through 7-6.
And smart play. I said it before. Zimmerman finding a way after an error to get that person the ball again and let them have their chance to score. They forget about their error. They're super pumped up being able to score.
7-6, the advantage now for the Badgers. Zabjak back to the service line. Goes off the arms of Lianga and out of play. Isaac Zabjak with the ace.
Super impressed. You know, he started the night off a bit slower from the service line, not making good contact. His last 4 or 5 runs, he's been hammering the ball from that line. And it has a bit of a float to it. It's not coming off topspin clean. Bit of a phaser sometimes. Very hard for people to pass up.
And we're tied at 7. Another toss here by Zabjak, and he's wide of the court this time. Trying to come back at Solly Lianga. But it goes to the Badgers and brings Liam Strong back into the front row. Float serve goes back across. Set to the left side, tipped over the top. And that's a free ball coming back over and having to make the adjustment. And interfering again with the set. As Zimmerman was in tight, trying to make a play on the ball and just coming back across a little too overzealous.
Yeah, on both sides, they didn't really take care of that first contact. It's an easy first contact, overpass, tight pass, kind of back and forth, not taking care of the first contact. Not usually what you'd see at this level.
8-8 in this fourth set. Venning. That one may have been going out the back, but it's played up by Code, tipped over the top. Venning gets to it. Forearm set across. Swings off the top. Yusuf able to get there. But Redden unable to keep it central. Point goes to Queens. It's 9-8. Reed Venning back to the service line here for Queens. 4 dropped in serve receive for the Badgers. And Venning takes a bit off. Pats comes in tight, having to adjust as Redden off the block there, and Zimmerman and Redden go after the joust. This one goes to the Badgers setter.
Setter v setter. You know, you don't see that very often on a joust. Redden was able to come through. Kind of his momentum carrying him forward, made him be able to push a bit harder, and Zimmerman ends up on the floor.
So 9 points apiece here in this fourth set. Center to the pipe to Zixna! Finds the sideline, Eric Zixna! Point goes to Queens, they're up 10-9.
Yeah, we haven't seen that yet. You know, it's really surprising that we don't see that pipe set more often. You know, it's very successful when they've seen him to have run it over the last few matches. Let's see if they get that more involved as we get into this last set.
10-9 for the Gaels. Litsas off the tape, and Ziglitsas gets the ace for the Gaels, and it's 11-9. th point of the match for Ziglitsas, and he'll be looking for 19 here to try to push the lead to 3. Pass goes up, having to scramble there as Redden staying on top of it as Cooney blocked out of play as Sixna gets up on top. You can see a bit of separation. Sixna was looking for it, but you can see a bit of separation on that sideline, Alex. And
yeah, you can see a little bit of separation. When you're in the air, it comes off your hands, it's going straight down. It's hard to see if it's in or out, but it was just out of bounds. Great swing by Cooney on a triple block and being aggressive, trying to take it off him and out of bounds.
Cooney now goes back to the service line, which brings Lianga into the front row, and it's into the net. And the service error by Cooney gives the point to the Gaels.
That's really tough for Brock. You know, that's 2 misses by Cooney this set, and he's one of their bigger servers. We usually see them go on a run when he's back at the line, so if he's missing, it doesn't bode well for this Badgers offense.
And here's Tompkins to the line. He's got the high spin serve and always a threat to score a service ace. Time off the hands, and it's brought back in, and it's in tight to the net. Lianga blocked by Zimmerman. And Chris Zimmerman at the net tonight, Alex, putting on a clinic.
Zimmerman's kind of taken over that blocking job that he's taken over for Tompkins. You know, they were up there together, side by side, but Zimmerman's been the one who's been planting that statement, having, 6 slam blocks in the last set.
13-10 the lead here for the Gaels. Just want to take a quick second, Alex, to talk about the ramifications, so to speak, about what happens after this match, as there will be an OUA bronze medal match to see who qualifies for the national championships that'll be held here in Kingston. We know the McMaster Marauders are into the championship and will be hosting the championship next weekend. Just circumstances, though, by virtue of Queens hosting the national championships and their automatic berth into it, if the Gaels are into and come away victorious and will go to McMaster next weekend, if that is the case, then the bronze medal match between Guelph and Brock, the winner of that will qualify for the national championship. If the Badgers come away victorious here, the Gaels will be hosting the Guelph Griffins for the OUA bronze medal, and again, the victor of that will go to the national championships. So just to sort of set the stage that whoever comes out away from this without the victory will be playing in an OUA bronze medal match next week.
Yeah, and there might be 4 OUA berths if somehow Queens were to end up fourth place. That would take one RSAQ bid away, giving an OUA another one. But right now, if Queens can stay on top, move on, win this set, they'll be going on top 3 from the OUA, go forward, and it's just the bronze medal winner.
13-10, the advantage for the Gaels here as we approach the midway point of this 4th set. Good serve again by Tompkins, set to the right side, tipped over by Code, and Zabjak and Sixna there to send it right back.
Zabjak wants to get involved in the block party tonight. Nice play, nice hang time. You saw a couple times those tips come over the top as he's falling down. You can't reach it. That time he had more hang time and slams it home, joining that block party.
And probably didn't have much of an option there was Code in terms of having to adjust and just sort of try to tip and roll over top that time, but got to get him back swinging on that right side pin if you're the Badgers. Serve coming, pass comes in tight. To make the adjustment is Redden. Lianga goes cross. And it picks that up. Sixna. What a dig, though, by Yusuf. Forearm set by Lianga as Redden didn't get a great set on that ball. Set to the left side. Sixna again. Eric Sixna puts it away. And a tough sequence from the Badgers despite the strong dig by Yusuf.
Strong dig by Yusuf. I don't know why Redden chose to forearm try past that. A ball to the ceiling, it's going to be really hard to control regardless, but putting your hands on it like you normally would, you would have had more control, and you end up giving a free ball, and as a result, they get it slammed right back down your throat.
15-10 the lead now for the Gaels. Dax Tompkins. Good spin and another good handle on receive there by Yusuf. And Code comes back, but it's a good dig. Up by the Gaels, tipped over the top there by Sixna. Cooney. High ball set to the outside to Code, tipped over the top this time. A bit of a mishandle there by Zimmerman. Referee doesn't make the call on the double, and maybe thinking that was going to be the case there was Zabjak. But it drops to the open floor, 15-11.
Yeah, I can't really call a double on first contact though, so he kind of let it slide as we saw earlier off the double maybe by Brock. But it was just an ugly play overall, and Zabjak just let it hit the floor.
15-11, but it comes right back as Liam Strong serves into the net. 5-point lead restored here for the Gaels is at 16-11.
Yeah, Brock's running out of time now. You know, they got to be able to serve the ball on the floor if they want to come back in this game. Missed serves are the easiest way to let the time run out on you.
Zimmerman back to the service line here now for the Gaels. Pass comes inside as Lianga gets across and able to find a way to side out, 16-12. High toss upcoming on the serve by Kyler Code. Passed up there, set into the middle. Zabjak with a cut, finds the sideline. And a great swing by Isaac Zabjak.
Loves that spot, eh? Just coming across his body, carving it hard to one. It's hard to stop with whoever is playing one in defense. That time it was the right side cone.
17-12, the lead now for the Gaels. Trying to qualify for the OUA Men's Volleyball Championships that'll be held at McMaster next weekend. But still have to push here. They are up by 4 after the service error by Sixna, and now Sali Lianga will go back to serve here for the Badgers. Float serve upcoming. Lianga with a deep ball, goes out the back. That one kept carrying out, and it's a service error from the Badgers.
Yeah, after 16 back-to-back misses, it's going to be really hard to come back into the game if you keep missing. The clock is against you in this sense, where anytime after 16 missed serves, when you're down big, it's going to make it tougher and tougher as you get in the latter stages of this set.
Zabjak back to serve now for the Gaels, off the tape! And Zabjak with the ace pushes the Gaels up 6, and perhaps the second of 2 timeouts coming here now, Alex. We'll see if Ian Evatt's going to take it. Motions towards Eric Monpoint, and he will take it with a 6-point gap to try to make up here. And it's 19-13 for Queens.
Yeah, it's a big gap. You might have even wanted to call this timeout earlier. You know, it's kind of been drifting away from them slowly. This lead's been held by missed serves, and it's been the same margin of difference for the past, 5-6 points. I think, you don't want to get into a situation of too little too late, but, 13-19, with side-out volleyball, it's going to be really hard to come back. It's either you're going to need a hot spin server at the back or someone putting a lot of pressure on, but we haven't really seen that that really hard blocking from Brock. When they've been able to win, it's because they've had the lead early. Like, what are they going to do now in a system where they're down big? What are they going to do to dig deeper and come back? It hasn't been the block, it's been more so the backcourt and digging. It's going to be really hard unless your block's going to get involved to find a way to come back.
So 19-13, the second of 2 timeouts from the Badgers in this set have been burned. So they're going to try to find a way to sort it out on the floor. Trailing by 6 as the Gaels trying to close this one out and win the match in 4. Passed up by Lianga. Set to the left side, or the right side, to Code. They run him out of the back row. And a good swing cross court.
Good swing cross court out of the back row. He had about an inch before he was stepping on that red line. Great swing, great attack by Cone.
So Furland back to the service line, brings Liam Strong into the front row. Float serve by Furland. Set into the middle, the throw tip there by Dax Tompkins. And a good adjustment by Tompkins, and finds a gap in the block, and it's 20-14.
That's a great call there, Compo. The throw tip, it was kind of like that in between. If he held it a bit longer, he might have called on it, but great attack there by Tompkins.
6-point edge restored here for the Gaels, and it's a high toss on the spinner upcoming. And it's going to go out the back. You're going to say it's in.
Yeah, it's interesting. The lines official standing right there didn't make a call. He was standing right in front of it, and he made no call, forcing the linesman on the far side to say it was in. I'm not sure. It looked like it could have been out the back. But you know what? Point Gaels.
21-14. Passed up by Code. Set to the left side, and a hard swing by Cooney. It's going to go well out the back. And the Gaels are rolling now, Alex, 22-14. They can sense a berth in the OUA finals at this juncture.
Yeah, they're playing well, and Brock is unraveling a little bit, making uncharacteristic errors. It's going to be really tough to find a way to get back into this set.
Reed Venning. High toss up coming on the serve. It's short into the net. And the Badgers will go back to the line, trailing 22-15. And it'll be Redden back to the service line, Alex, which brings Kyler Code back into the front row. Pass comes up by 6, and that's in tight to the tape. Be an opportunity back in transition. They go to Code. Straight down, they go to Kyler Code on that right side ball.
Yeah, great set in rhythm, had a full swing. Gonna need to see a bit more pressure here if you want to find a way to get back in this set.
22-16. Gaels still with both timeouts. And have a 6-point advantage here in a potential closeout set. Passed up there, set into the middle off the top of the block. Cooney gets there. Lianga comes right back to Cooney off the top of the block. In position there is Rabbit. Getting across is Zimmerman. Pushes into the block, and will we get a timeout called up now from the Gaels as Coach DeGroot comes here to the sideline to offer some encouragement.
I think I leave this one on the floor. The boys look like they got together, they talked about it, they're ready to go. Save your timeout, you know, you still got some more time.
22-17 now, 3 straight points for the Badgers. And it's a float serve off the arms of Leitzis.
Now you call a timeout. Now you call a timeout.
Off the arms of Leitzis, and they'll, as Coach DeGroot makes his way towards the downside official and will indeed motion for the timeout. So 4 straight points now, Alex, for the Badgers, and it's 22-18.
4 straight points, you know, it's it's a lot of, you got, a lot of time before they can catch up. You know, you take a break, you reset, okay, what do we do? Okay, a couple bad passes, let's find a good pass. Zimmerman was trying to find the middle there, didn't work out. You know, look to get back to some of your outsides, your high point scorers, Leitzis, or I would even love to see a pipe coming in here. You know, good pass, find a way to get it to a pipe, something different. But if you're running pipe, you got to run a 51. You can't run 31. 31 pipes too easy to block as a defense in the middle. You're going to be able to get up there. So look to see a 51 or pipe over the top. I don't know, but. It's almost too little too late for Brock. If they can find a way to steal 2 more, then we're gonna say this is a match, and the pressure gets on, the crowd gets into it.
So the first of 2 timeouts taken here by the Gaels. Again, a 4-point run for the Badgers. Have taken this from a 22-14 to a 22-18 Queens lead. And it'll be Redden back to serve once again. Again, the Gaels faithful here at the arc. Trying to cheer the Gaels on to a side out here. With Redden back to serve for the Badgers. As that hybrid sort of float serve coming inside, and Tompkins again out of the middle. And a great time for a side out. They get Tompkins isolated again on the single. And again, that throw tip works well. Able to just make that adjustment and dunk it.
Yeah, hard ball in the stop. You got to catch it with the block. There's no way a defender's getting his hands on that one.
Zach Leitzis back to serve here for the Gaels. Off the arms there of Cooney. And it'll be a free ball back. Yusuf sends it deep. Rabbit takes first ball. Set to the outside. Sixna out the back. On the attack by Eric Sixna, but good set to the outside on that free ball transition, and you get Eric Sixna on the outside. Just didn't quite get the snap on that ball. 23-19, Devin Cooney. Back to serve here for the Badgers, has to steal a couple from the line. And it's out the back. Match point, Queens.
Yeah, that was the tail of the tape we've seen so far this set. That's his 3rd miss in a row for Cooney this set. It's been really hard for them to get any sustained pressure. Too many misses. Set, match point, Gaels for a chance to go on to your OUA championship.
Dax Tompkins to the service line here He's been excellent from the net. He's been excellent attacking. Can he steal one from the line to send the arc into a frenzy? Pass comes in tight. Set to the left side. Lianga off the block. They recycle with Youssef. Set to the right side. Code keeps the Badgers alive. And what composure by Kyler Code. He's been great from that right side. And they set him again, Alex, with their aspirations of winning this match on the line. And now it's 24-20.
It's interesting here that you don't use a serving sub now. You keep Liam Strong in a middle in the backcourt. You have no libero in the back. So it's going to be relying on your block to maybe make a play here to steal a point.
Served by Strong, passed up by Litsa, set to the outside, Eric Sixna! And the Gaels are off to the OUA finals.
What a swing, what a play, what a match. It was entertaining. We had some back and forth volleyball here, but Queens, with all the pressure of being able to go on to the final, to go into the championship, found a way to get it done.
The good pass up, they set that ball to the outside to Eric Sixna, and Eric Sixna swings away, puts an end to the fourth set. 25-20 here in the fourth. The Gaels dropping the opening set in heartbreaking fashion, Alex, 27-25, and they come back 25-17, 27-25 in an outstanding third set, and they close it out 25-20 in the fourth set. And again, they will go to Hamilton next weekend to take on their arch rivals, the McMaster Marauders. And Alex, you've played in these Queens and McMaster OUA championships in the past. Should be an outstanding matchup up in Hamilton at the Burridge Gymnasium between two of the premier programs in OUA men's volleyball. Queens and Mac battling again for the provincial championship.
Queens and Mac battling again for the championship. That is almost 20 straight years where either Queens or Mac have found a way to be on top of the OUA championship. Unbelievable match here though, Campo. Queens found a way to win. You know, you wouldn't want them to win it easy. You want them to have to battle some adversity, make some tough decisions, and fight through this match. They found ways to win in different ways in this match from the service line with their block. Really impressive overall. And now they're going to take their talents up to Hamilton to see if they can steal one and take home an OUA championship.
And certainly a disappointing end to the match here for the Brock Badgers, but their season not finished either. They still have an opportunity to qualify for the national championship. They will be hosting the Guelph Griffins in the bronze medal matchup in St. Catharines, and with a victory there would qualify for the U Sports Men's Volleyball National Championships that are going to be taking place right here at the Arc as the third OUA representative. But again, by virtue of the Gaels winning this matchup here, it'll go down to just the bronze medal victor as to who will qualify for that third spot out of the OUA.
Yeah, what a game, what a match. It'll be great to see who can come forward and pull out a victory. It's really tough to lose in this stage. Who's going to be able to reset this week and find a way to come back to this gym and battle for a national championship? It's really hard after a loss to find a way to win. You know, they have a full week to do it, a full week to scout if you're the Brock Badgers or the Guelph Griffins. But for us from here, you know, the Queens Gaels found a way to get through, found a way to push through, and you'll be hearing from us again in a couple weeks from now as we get ready for that national championship.
Our last broadcast here at the Arc for the regular season and playoffs, but as Alex mentioned, we will be on the broadcast for the national championships taking place here at the Athletics and Recreation Center. If you could see from the broadcast here this evening, an outstanding crowd, an atmosphere to be a part of here, Alex, for this OUA men's volleyball semifinal, and just extrapolating or building on that a little bit as we head and look ahead to the national championships, and expecting a lot of the same as the Gaels will be competing for a national championship here on their home court. But as always, thank you so much for joining us here on the OUA TV broadcast. If you can get here for the national championships, would be great to see everybody here in person. If not, we hope to see you and engage with you here at the national championships. But before that takes place, the Gaels, as we said, will take to the road to take on the McMaster Marauders for the OUA championship and that OUA banner. The Gaels come away with a semifinal 4-set victory. They drop the opening set 27-25. They respond back with set victories of 25-17, 27-25, and 25-20. For Alex Elliott and our entire crew here at the Athletics and Recreation Center, good night, and we'll see you for the Nationals.